CureSearch.org. You're not as alone as you feel. Brought to you by CureSearch and the Ad Council.
Your home for the Cowboys.
Prescott all the way, runs it in for the touchdown.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
No Wemby, no Wimmy. The San Antonio Spurs fell 139-124 to the Chicago Bulls last night. Oh, they'll get back at it again. They're going to go back-to-back, welcoming in the Kings to the Frost Center, 7 o'clock for your tip. It's conference title weekend, and it'll get going live right here, the AAC championship game. Army-Tulane right here at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yep, that's Rob Thompson's voice you just heard doing Sports Center. He is live with me, Jason Minnix, out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location for their big demo days. And, Reinagel goes to Vegas today.
Oh, that's where he is?
Yeah, he's in Vegas. I was like, hey, Rob, it's a Friday. You want to do 2 shows? Yeah, we're going to be live at Tri-County. I'll be there. There'll be brisket, right?
That's how it went down. Now, I do want to let you know that you asked me to do this. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been months.
We planned this when it was like 85 degrees.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And when anybody asks you to do something way down the line, it's real easy to say yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, you want to do 2 shows? Yeah, how far away is this? Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll probably do 3.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, but it's demo days here at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. George Cantu, a championship griller. He's got his big trailer pit. We've got burn-ins. We've got brisket. There's some fajitas. There's sausage. Alonzo from Gulf Coast Smoke is here. All his seasonings. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. Julio's chips. There's pecans. There's cigars. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. Maggie May's inside with all kinds of great sides. And get over here to Tri-County Meat Market. You're going to eat well. And, Rob, I didn't know this until, 20, 30 minutes ago. We are the official judges of a Tomahawk competition that is going to take place in about an hour. And if you guys want to sample some Tomahawk, what's left, and I'm even going to rope grumpy ass Greg Shelton into this. It's our Christmas present to him. We're going to let him participate in this because we know he will be impartial. You and I can be bribed, but between George, Alonzo, and Joe Herring, the godfather of Tri-County Meat Market, they're all 3 going to do Tomahawks in different ways, and we get to judge who's the best.
Well, I think, first of all, we would like to reiterate we can be bribed.
We can be bribed.
And secondly, I need a whole lot to really decide.
Well, they're big pieces of meat.
I mean, I need a fair amount of each to really narrow it down. But I didn't know that we were involved in this. I didn't know how this was going to be yet.
I see a tomahawk hanging there. I'm like, all right, we're doing tomahawks. Yeah, you guys get to judge one. They're going to have a competition on the tomahawk.
Is that why this grill is hanging to the right? That tomahawk is hanging over there?
Yes. Yeah. See, and here, I kind of figure Joe probably went back there and cut his own, and then he probably gives Alonzo and George, a quality, but not the same.
You know how you take your hat off to a man? You know how he can grill? When his trailer has mags.
That's what you noticed?
When your barbecue trailer has mags, no, it starts from the ground up.
Yes.
He's got a good base, and he works his way up. That is a beautiful piece of equipment.
It is, and the food coming off of that is even better. So I'm excited. We get to judge a tomahawk competition. You think about all the life's work of training, qualifying for an event such as this. You're calling. Rob, you didn't get a nap today, or not a normal nap, but you get to judge a tomahawk competition.
I feel like there should be some Eminem music in the background. I feel like I'm about to meet my moment. It's about to happen.
This is it. I mean, you got brisket, you got burnt ends, and we're going to get Greg Shelton involved in this as well because, it's the holiday time. He likes tomahawks. He likes steaks, and we actually might get to see him smile sitting out here in this rather lovely December day.
It's perfect. This is an ideal day to do what we're doing. There could not be better weather.
All right. You keep telling yourself that.
No, I'm serious. If you're going to smell some smoke, it better come along with temperature just below 50. Just a little bit of a breeze and overcast. Just enough to where you can hear those deer antlers rattling in the trees. It's gotten cold and the rut's coming, but the cook's up and the smoke's rising.
According to my phone, 52 degrees. And this does feel kind of like a couple weeks ago when we were up at deer camp, at night. The smoke is going and, the only thing we're missing is a good cold adult beverage.
We could. There's a store just around the corner.
Yeah. Well, 6 o'clock could be here before you know it.
I got a Yeti in the car.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah.
This is going to be such a great weekend. This really, when you think about what we were going to have when we thought we were talking about the tournament, when we finally going to get it, we're going to get it. We're going to get what we're going to get. It starts this weekend.
Well, and it starts tonight with all the conference championship games. All the playoff stuff will sort itself out. You have Texas and Georgia Part 2 tomorrow. You've got the Big 12 championship game that everybody predicted that we are going to have with Arizona State and Iowa State. See, you say that. I'm all about the Sun Devils this year.
I get you're allowed to be very excited. You invested in this.
Well, my kid goes to Arizona State.
Yes.
And I've become a fan at the beginning of the year. With Texas moving on to the SEC, I adopted Arizona State's going to be my Big 12 team. I mean, you got to root for somebody in a conference, right? And everybody says, oh, man, that's going to be awful. Here they are playing in the Big 12 championship game. But I love everything about what their program is in the turnaround. The way Kenny Dillingham has turned that around. You got a running back named Scattaboo who runs just like that. Has
your daughter met Scattaboo?
No.
Say that honestly. Anybody who hasn't seen this cat play has missed a unique type of football player.
Yeah, no, No, being a grad school and not living on campus or even near campus, she's kind of missing out on that.
On other gigs, but that was not on my score sheet back at the luncheon.
No. I mean, Arizona State and the fact that Iowa State's there, but that has the making of being a hell of a football game.
We're calling it the ass backwards bowl.
Well, I mean, that's
whoever wins it.
Yeah,
ass backwards, baby. Fall right into that tournament.
Well, you're going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Fall right into it.
You say we're. I'm assuming you and AJ on the morning huddle. AJ Hoffman.
I say we and me and that guy that I keep in my pocket. I say it's the ass backwards.
Well, and again, I look at that and. Nobody saw either one of those teams as a potential playoff team a month ago.
If the world was a right and correct place, there would be no representative from the Big 12 this year.
If Colorado doesn't screw up against Kansas, they would have been a worthy team.
But they did.
And then you look at the teams that win. You go Miami then, or a 3-loss Alabama. Lane Kiffin and all his whining from Ole Miss.
Pretty good. I think South Carolina's got a pretty good claim to fame.
Absolutely.
So I think it's not that this is wrong. This is just exactly what we were told we were going to get. We were going to get representation, but it just feels a little, now we got 12 teams and we still can't figure out how to get the top 12 teams into the tournament.
Well, it's because you got to invite everybody to the party.
That's just it. It sounds good when you're inviting, you're putting together the guest list, and then you realize you invited that nerd that nobody likes.
Well,
and just because your mom made you and he's here and you got to bring him in and they're going to make you play with him.
But again, we look at all the conferences and we judge on conferences and conference reputation.
And the Big 12 will be back and there'll be teams worthy in the future. And you don't want to set a precedent just because this year they were down. Well, I'll be honest, it just doesn't feel right.
You look at Miami with 2 losses, probably not going to get invited. But a 3-loss Alabama, as you go with what the rankings were this week, they would be in. Is that fair? And you could argue, and we've seen the arguments. You have the SEC champion likely is a Big 12 team from a year ago. The Big 10 champion is likely going to be a Pac-12 team from a year ago, and then the Atlantic it could end up being SMU. And what were they in the American a year ago?
The common denominator is they're all cheaters.
Cheaters. All cheaters, says the Aggie.
I'm just saying.
They're
I've been
playing,
told.
They're playing by the current rules.
I've just been told. I heard if things go wrong, those guys throw stuff on the field.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
Oh.
It happens. It happens.
It's the who'd have thought, man.
Oh.
I mean, talk about middle finger. These three universities forevermore.
Yeah.
Forevermore. Walking around with a middle finger. This was easy.
Uh-huh.
You guys suck. You should have seen where I was from. My neighborhood where I grew up was much worse than this, man.
Uh-huh.
That's a bunch of punks.
Uh-huh. Come hang out with us here at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. You want to see Rob Thompson? You haven't seen him out and about in a long time. Now that he's a morning show star, he goes home and goes to bed. He's out in the daylight. It's a rare thing. So was talking with Stephen Jones on a Friday. He got too busy yesterday, had a busy calendar. So Stephen Jones will join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Ticket. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Joe Reinagel here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minnix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Rob Thompson in for Joe Reinagel on this Friday. I'm Jason Minnix, live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location for their demo days. You want some brisket, some burnt-ends, some sausage, fajitas, get on out here. Try the great stuff, the samples here. Gulf Coast Smoke is out here. He's got his fire going, rolling some smoke, cooking up some great meats. Julio's chips, great stuff inside as well.
I think somebody just tried to pull up and get some handed into their car.
A drive-through service?
Drive-through giveaway. Don't do that. Park and come say hi.
Although, I appreciate the efforts.
As a novel idea.
I appreciate the efforts. You know, last time we were out here, there were people that showed up with to-go containers.
Man, we're right behind the grill, the perfect place. We get the heat and just enough smoke to make me hungry.
Yep. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys will join us in a second. I'm being texted right now. So we'll visit with Stephen as soon as he finishes up the call that apparently he is currently on. And we'll visit with him on the Tomahawk competition. I'm told around 3 o'clock is when that's going to happen. So
they're cooking essentially with high heat. We're not, nobody is reverse searing, nothing.
I don't know.
Because if they're starting at 3, that means they're all doing the same thing, I would think.
I don't know. I don't know. See, Greg Shelton keeps talking without a microphone like a great radio engineer would, saying 2:45. The text message I got says 3 o'clock. So I know somewhere in there. But if you guys want to participate and watch a Tomahawk competition and probably get some of that, get over here in a hurry. You're not working anyway at this point. It's Friday afternoon.
I'd have to move the camera over there so we can do some play-by-play.
We might have to do that.
Like Iron Chef.
Something along those lines. Something along those lines.
You think Steve is going to have to defend his coach too? Everybody's being nice to McCarthy this week.
It's interesting. Well, I'm curious how much input Dak is going to have with the comments that he made this week.
Well, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the best parking spot in the building.
He's not going anywhere. Well, next to Jerry and Stevens, but yeah.
Well, that's the helipad. That's the swag comment.
Truth. So, I mean, you look at it, and yeah, there's some possibilities there. But Mike McCarthy, and Joe and I were talking about this yesterday, with all the kind things that are being said. You guys talked about it this morning when Coach McCarthy was on the morning huddle, as he is every Friday, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Kind words are nice, but also there could be 6, 7, 8, 10 jobs open, and we'll see what happens. Let's talk about it with Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Stephen, appreciate you joining us here on a Friday. Before we get into Cowboys talk, just general NFL news, knowing you're on the competition committee. With the hit on Trevor Lawrence, the 3-game suspension, a lot of talk about fake slides and quarterbacks, pretending to slide or go out of bounds. How much do you think you guys will talk about that in the offseason, about putting in a rule to prevent that from happening?
Well, I think it's something we always have to mind. And, it's tough being a defender in this league, especially when you're, trying to get a quarterback on the ground. And you got, the athletes are only getting better at the quarterback position, whether it's a Josh Allen, whether it's a Patrick Mahomes, whether it's a Trevor Lawrence, a Dak Prescott. I mean, these guys are athletic, and they know they have that protection. And, unfortunately, we put the onus on the defenders, to stay out of certain areas in the quarterback's wheelhouse. And, in no way, would I say, and, unless someone corrected me, that, the Texans defender had bad intentions. I think he was they're trying to win the game. They're trying to not let that quarterback get extra yards. Or, it's a tough deal. And, these quarterbacks, when they slide, you don't know for sure, where their head's going to be, where their neck's going to be. And, I think it's difficult on the defender. But at the end of the day, they know they have, that risk. And not only is it a penalty risk, it's a fine risk. And ultimately, in this particular case, it was a suspension liability. So, it's difficult. In no way do I think our players in the NFL, though, have, the mindset that they're going to try to hurt somebody. I think they respect one another. I think they certainly want to win games. They certainly want to make the play to keep a team from making a play that wins the game. And so they're in a conundrum. I mean, that's a difficult deal. And at the competition committee level, we have respect for that. But it'll be something which is the job of the competition committee, is to sit down and discuss that. And is there a better way than what we're doing right now? And, to have the proper respect for the defenders, but at the same time, all 32 teams have a vested interest in, the most important position on the field, which is quarterback. I think everybody knows that. And, we certainly don't want to see those guys on IR and missing football games.
Well, Stephen, it sounds like you made a worthy defense for him, but you lost, and it wasn't just a kind of a suspension. Your committee went full in, skipped a step. What was the committee vote like? Were there other folks like you, other members of the committee that felt like this is going to have to change sooner than later, that, we're penalizing a thing that we've gone too far with?
I mean, that'll be something we discuss in the offseason. I'll say this, the committee doesn't have a say in length of suspension versus fine. We set the rules. We know there's certain degrees of seriousness to where players can be suspended for 1 game, 3 games, 6 games. Are you a player that's had these offenses before? These are all things that go into it, but they don't bring a suspension like that to the committee and have us vote on it. That's done by the league office, the commissioner and Troy Vincent, and our group of executives up there that make those calls. We just make the rules, and then they decide, in their opinion, at the end of the day, after we make rules, to what degree it should be, whether it's a fine, a suspension, or length of suspension.
Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Tough news yesterday on the injury front for the Cowboys, with the news that Zack Martin is going to have surgery, out for the year. My immediate thought was, man, what a rough way for him to end that Hall of Fame career, although he said yesterday he had no intentions of retiring. But when you heard that news, I mean, do you kind of worry about the future playing days for Zack Martin?
Well, let's start with the Zack Martin, the man. I mean, what an amazing man he is, both on and off the field, in terms of how he's represented the Dallas Cowboys and the organization. He's always done everything the right way. You look back on it, I mean, the guy's missed very few games. He's always available. He's a competitor. He's everything you want. When you draft a player for the Dallas Cowboys, you couldn't draw one up better than Zack Martin. He's no doubt in my mind, he'll be in the Ring of Honor. No doubt in my mind, he'll be a Hall of Famer. He'll wear a gold jacket. I mean, this guy's done everything the right way. And I know, his mindset is right now, I just want to, fix the problem. And that's what he's going to do. He did everything. He went out of, he tried every avenue to not have that season ending surgery, but ultimately, we tried everything. It's just something that, he couldn't play with. And if anyone knows Zack Martin, if anyone could have played with it, he would be the guy to do it. And I have nothing but great respect for him. And, I know all he's worried about right now is let's get that ankle well, and we can worry about the long term later.
Absolutely. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. I know it's a busy Friday for you. You got a big game coming up on Monday night. Get that third one in a row. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot, guys. Always great being on with you.
Appreciate it. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Interesting with Stephen there. We'll worry about the later, but man, it certainly feels like that's it. I mean, even Brad Champ tweeted out last night, almost RIP to your career.
It feels like a bunch of eulogies.
Yes.
But at the end of every eulogy, everybody finishes, but, he might not be gone. Well, he certainly sounds like y'all are back in his locker.
Well, and again, I go back to, when Mike Parsons inadvertently threw Mike McCarthy under the bus. And he's trying to say I was talking about, doing it for guys like Zack Martin. I kind of felt like, did Mike could just announce a retirement before Zack Martin could announce his retirement? And certainly he doesn't want to go out this way. But it felt like this was his last year. His contract was set up for this to be his last year. And but his play this year has been not at the level that we normally expect out of Zack Martin. And everybody talks about him like, yeah, that was it. And almost like seeing Tyron Smith go, or, when they let Zeke go to New England the first, you run your course with this organization. I don't see you wearing another helmet, but if you want to, go ahead.
Do you think that he would play someplace else? That didn't, honestly, Jason, I didn't think that didn't cross my mind.
I never thought Emmett would. Yeah, he did. I didn't think Zeke would.
This ankle thing, I think this is one of those where he even knows once this occurs, the rehab is just going to be worth the return.
The question, though, does he want to go out that way?
Well, that is a big deal.
And how determined, he's had a couple of them, and how determined does he want to be to go out walking off the field and not, leaving because of injury and having surgery? And if he does want to play again, and if the Cowboys have internally moved on, then yeah, I could see him going somewhere else. But I tell you, as great as that guy's been on the field, and you look at and you think about Zack Martin and that answer you just heard from Stephen Jones. And let's go with every story that we've heard, whether it's Jerry telling it, whether it's Steven telling it. But in that draft room, one of those guys wanted Johnny Manziel. And the one you just heard from told his daddy, no, we're taking this Zack Martin guy. And he's getting a gold jacket. And everybody starts with the guy he is in the locker room. We know what he means on the football field. Mike McCarthy, this morning with you guys, you and AJ on the morning huddle just talked about, losing Zack Martin on the field is one thing. It's everything else that you cannot replace.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, without a doubt. And I think, you've kind of hit on it already. I mean, Zack means so much to us, as a football team and really as an organization. He represents the Dallas Cowboys so well on and off the field. His playing career and the Pro Bowls, the consistency of how he plays and is really a clear illustration of really how he lives his life. Just very, very consistent, very well respected, great teammate. But yes, that was some tough news. And, the irony of it all, also coming on the day that, he's nominated for one of the, greatest awards, the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee also. So I just think that speaks volumes about who Zack is.
One of the things, it's the three amigos. This is the end of an era. When you think about it, it was the three. First, we lost Travis.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we still have one playing, but not really. But
he's on IR.
Yeah. But it's the end of about 10 years of an era of football with the Cowboys.
And you look at the Cowboys, who have done historically a good job under Will McClay of having a dominant offensive line, and they did for a long time. And now it's going to be up to that front office to rebuild it. And, you look at a Tyler Smith and you go, okay, there's one. You look at Guyton and you wonder, okay, is Guyton going to be that guy? I mean, early returns are one thing, but the Cowboys have to start looking at that, whether Zack Martin comes back or not. But I just, as soon as you hear the news and you look at the way he's played this year, and you just kind of feel like that's it. I'll go back to, our former teammate here, Dat Wynn. He knew his career was over when he couldn't get from point A to point B, and he tells that story all the time. He couldn't play up to his level. And there are some guys that don't mind dropping personal standards to keep playing and keep getting paid. And then there are other guys that if I can't do it at this level, I'm walking away. And I just always felt like Zack Martin was one of those guys that when he wasn't playing at his level, he wasn't going to play.
Yeah, those guys that are that good, though, they can slip a little and still be better than everybody else. So, it's hard for those guys to really hit it right on the head.
But they know, and
he does know. No one wants to play
remember
like that
you and I when you were still doing afternoon radio, sitting in Oxnard, California, right before we took pictures and you had your cheerleader sorority girl pose, talking with a couple of those big old offensive linemen.
Why do you have to paint this? Just tell the story.
It's the full thing, and we're talking with these offensive linemen, and you look around and all of them, and they were all great, talking about trying to live up to the standard that Zack Martin sets. And when Zack Martin isn't playing at that standard, I can't see Zack Martin sticking around.
No, I think he knew it was over. And before the injury, and the idea and what everybody said, how much he searched to find a doctor that might be able to fix whatever the problem was, because you get the sense that everybody in the locker room knew. He had told them, this is it. I'm not going to be back no matter what the case. And it didn't want to go out like that. But let's go ahead and make our reservation for Canton. 5 years from now, we can go ahead and get in there a Holiday Inn.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, and he is. He's a Hall of Famer.
First ballot.
And you look at like Larry Allen, the fact that you had a guy like Larry Allen, then you had a guy like Zack Martin that are going to go into the Hall of Fame like that. You think about all those great ones, whether it's Travis Frederick or Tyron Smith, and I could see both getting a gold jacket.
Oh, they will.
But Zack Martin, if one of the three, it would be Zack Martin.
And it should be the first in, even though he shouldn't be the last out.
Well, I mean, although you look at it and you think about a guy like Tyron Smith, because he was so young when he got to the Cowboys, still pretty young in life, just not in football years.
Well, Travis should still be playing too.
Well, yeah. I mean, you talk about another story. You and I sitting with Travis, and we're talking about his contract because that was all the rumors, and that dude just straight up lied to us.
He had already become a billionaire 100 times over, and you wouldn't know. You couldn't even tell.
He's sitting there talking to us, and I'm not my agent, handle all that. And then interviews over, practice over. After practice, they're holding a press conference and find out literally right before. You look at the timing of that. Like, what was that guy doing before he came and sat with us on that tennis court?
Still on his hand from where he had signed the deal.
He was in Jerry's office signing a contract that made him at that time one of the richest. And then he came and did our interview.
And he asked us for money.
He did.
He asked to borrow $5.
He needed lunch money.
Now that I think about it. Then he up and retired. I never got the money back.
Yeah. Good dude, though.
Hairiest dude I've ever been around.
Yeah, that part is true.
Man, that cat. No, I mean that Sasquatch. Whew, you think that beard ended on his neck? That went all the way down to the nalgas on the back, man.
That dude,
he was a silverback gorilla.
He wears flip flops everywhere he goes, man. You need a lawnmower for those feet. Rob is not exaggerating. That dude, something else.
Hairy man.
But I will never forget. Just hey man, contract. I'm not worried about it. And then you find out,
dude had just signed the contract of a lifetime, and we're talking to him about computer programming.
Yeah,
the dude had just signed like a $50 million deal 5 minutes beforehand.
Well, and it's funny because as he comes walking over to the media area, he's walking with Jerry, which led to us. Hey man, any contract news? All the agents. No, dude was in, and yeah, I'll never forget that. As one of them moments. You think about Monday's game. It's a weird weekend in the NFL because the best game of the week happened last night. And it was the best game of the week on paper. And my goodness, what a game did we have last night.
One of the reasons I'm so tired.
And then the Cowboys play on Monday. Let's talk about all of that. Your conversation this morning with Mike McCarthy as we continue live here at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. It's demo days. We're out here. You want to come sample some of the great meats. The Julio's chips are here. Maggie Mae's inside. We got pecans here. Gulf Coast Smoke. We got a Tomahawk competition coming up. And, of course, all inside, you get all the meats you need for the weekend or if you're planning ahead for the holidays. You think about some of those special cuts of meats that you need to pre-order, they've got it for you in Tri-County Meat Market. Gift boxes. You need holiday gift ideas. You want to know, what am I going to get Rob Thompson for Christmas? Get him a box full of meat. I mean, he doesn't need any more socks. They've got great gift ideas here. And don't mean to choke you up, Rob. Tri-County Meat Market. You can always take advantage of the Pick 5 special, and they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Busy weekend done. Conference champions named. The playoffs are ready.
And it's Simpsons night. Cowboys, Bengals in the Simpsons broadcast. This is the game of the year. It's got to be. We'll talk about it and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
'Twas the holiday season at Total Wine & More. So many friends that you need to shop for. Gifts on the shelves are so easy to find. Just what you love for your loved ones in mind. Your father likes Pinot Noir, Cabernet for your sis. Champagne for a co-worker, never a miss. Now that's a low price you'll shout out with glee when you shop Total Wine for them and for me.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant. We've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Rob Thompson in for Joe Reinagel today. I'm Jason Minnix. A.J. Hoffman from the Morning Huddle is showed up here at Tri-County Meat Market. Why? Because there's barbecue.
Yes.
There's barbecue.
And if there's he has to have a meat quotient in his blood. If it goes too low, he pees his pants and forgets who he is for a little while.
Well, that's certainly understandable. Now, the Tomahawks are on. We're going to have a Tomahawk competition coming up around 3 o'clock. I've been told the Tomahawks are on.
They're on. I watched one of them go on.
Yeah. So
that is a big piece of meat.
Yeah. Well, typical with the Tomahawk.
Yes. I mean, that's 4 inches of glory.
Yeah. Yes.
I was not. You afternoon guys.
Well, what do you mean?
Living in the gutter.
I don't know if we're living in the gutter. I mean, it's just, you say something like that and Pledge can't help himself. He's going to clip it and it will become a drop forever.
It wasn't. See, now there is literally nothing I can say.
No, there's not.
It's so easy, though.
Well, I mean, like, we got a direct message on Instagram the other day, and I refused to read it. Joe did, because I knew what James Pledger would do with it. Now, granted, it was talking about Joe, and so Joe read it, and Pledge immediately turned it into drops.
Was this the
Pledge, go ahead.
Joe's toes.
And the rest of it?
Put them in my mouth. Joe's
Some
toes.
dude
Yummy.
Some dude literally put that on a direct message to our Instagram page.
Well, it's not so much the message, which, he does have cute toes.
Well,
but how he read it.
Joe's toes. Put them in my mouth.
He's reading this like he's reading for a part. So do you want more? You want more love in this?
Joe's toes.
Do I need to sound more turned on? Joe's toe. How about Joe's toes?
Joe's toes.
Joe's toes. He's trying to get apart.
You are too.
He acts like he's done that before.
Like what?
I'm just
read for a part.
Well, maybe he's been in movies.
It's possible. Well, he was in a movie. The 7 Days of Utopia or whatever. Still gets mailbox money for that. About 38 cents every 3 months.
It's those weren't the kind of movies I was going to talk about, but sure.
Well, I was trying to steer back.
Okay.
Well, I like porn.
And see, there we go. I didn't know he had really been in a movie. I wouldn't even have done that. I'd have come up with something better. There's so many opportunities when you're dealing with
Gobbler's Knob.
Exactly. You just never know where this is going to go.
I can't wait for him when he does Sports Center. I just pray for a Gamecock victory.
Well, I mean,
I just pray for one whenever he's doing Sports Center.
Exactly. I mean, he is a big South Carolina fan for that reason.
Let's go.
Absolutely. On our YouTube channel, Robert would like for you to say, "This is the Blitz," like back in the old days.
Let's see. Now I can't.
You can't perform on demand?
See, no, I'm not like Joe. I don't have a previous career. It's the Blitz.
There you go.
There we go. That felt good.
There you go.
That's a nice release.
See, if you do that in the morning, you'll wake up everybody, which is actually what you're supposed to do. Although I do find it interesting especially this morning, your conversation with Mike McCarthy. And, he's on every Friday, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. But I was surprised at how open he was on the job security questions, because he has refused to talk about it all season long. But when you guys asked him this morning, he kind of, I don't really want to answer, and then gave you one hell of an answer.
He did.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, when we were, discussing this way back in the spring, I've addressed those things, and, and now we get to this point in the season, and I appreciate all the kind words. That's for sure. And, it's definitely better than the alternative. But I think, clearly my focus is on beating the Bengals, and that's where it needs to be. We all have situations that we're in, as far as our contracts and so forth. And I've done this for a long time. I'm very confident in the job that I am doing, but I'm very, very proud of the coaching staff and the job that they've done. So it's important for all of us just to stay where our feet are and stay focused on this. And in that time of evaluation will come at the end.
That was McCarthy this morning. I don't think anybody's asked him directly.
Well,
he didn't go too deep into it, but
well, the press conferences, but this week, Jerry has consistently said very nice things and bad losses and not even considering firing him. He always talks about what a great coach he is. He's won a Super Bowl, all that kind of stuff. But then you get the comments from Dak Prescott this week, and you wonder how much influence does Dak Prescott have when it comes to his future with the Cowboys. And, and one of the things that I've always maintained is Jerry Jones didn't hold Jason Garrett accountable for things that Jason Garrett couldn't control. For example, all the injuries. And while this year started off crappy, when they were fully healthy, the idea that now with all these injuries, will Jerry hold him accountable for that? And you guys asked him, if do you look around and go, dude, I mean, look at this roster you gave me, boss. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do? And then you add injuries to it.
Well, first thing, the season's not over. And, I think that's, part of the problem. And not problem. I think it's just part of the way the world is in sports today. I mean, we're making evaluations, 1/3, halfway through, through the season. So there's still a lot of football left to be played. I think that's important. But I think the reality of it is I am the head coach. I am the lead individual, and I do own it. This is my football team that I'm coaching. But I'm in charge of the training, every schedule, the decisions of, how we're going to play and have the ability to put my signature on it. So yeah, you have to own it. I mean, that's the responsibility of being a head coach in the National Football League.
Well, and again, so he owns it, but in reality, the season's not over yet.
What do you put as odds? Let's be realistic. I think you're, for a pro Cowboy guy, I think you see the world as it should be seen.
Honestly,
50-50 or better?
Right now, it really is 50-50 because I'll go back to last year. I hated the idea of him being a lame duck coach this year to begin with. Either fire him or extend him. But you never want to coach in the final year of their contract. Yet you look at Mike McCarthy, did nothing to deserve to get fired, yet at the same time, did nothing to deserve an extension.
That's going to be my question. So, a lot of people are like, yeah, he's done fine. What has he done to keep his job? And keep in mind, I like Mike, so I'm not anti-keeping him. But what has he done where you could, if you were advocating for him, where you go, this is why you got to keep him?
Well, honestly, that's a hard argument to make. And I say that. One, he has not lost the locker room, and a lame duck coach generally loses a locker room. So I think that for one speaks volumes for Mike McCarthy. But when Dak Prescott was healthy, this offense was awful. Now, is that because of the crap offensive line that he was dealing with, or the fact that they decided to go into the season without a real running back room because he had two old guys and one that you refused to hand the ball off to, and no weapons outside of CeeDee Lamb to speak of? So does Jerry hold Mike McCarthy accountable to that? But last year, first year in his offense, that offense was incredible.
It was.
The numbers that Dak put up, that Pollard put up, the receivers put up, Ferguson put up. But they didn't build on that. So, but that's why he didn't get fired last year, is look what he did first year of that offense. And so now you go but this year we didn't see that. But is that because the roster? He didn't forget how to call plays.
This chicken and egg thing, I do think that he has built up a fair amount of credit with Jerry. I also think Jerry will never forget the way that, when he looks back on coaches that he's hired and fired and all of that, and the parting has been awful. But I think his biggest regret in all of his football isn't Jimmy. It's Phillips. It's the way that he handled Phillips. And I think that's his biggest regret. And ever since then, he has been so deferential to his head coaches. He let Garrett float around for 2 years more than he should have.
Well, and again, Garrett had the job for 10. And if Dez caught it, Garrett might have won a Super Bowl. And again, I think, Jerry will talk about firing Wade Phillips middle of the year. He had to. Although he didn't like it. He didn't give Chan Gailey long enough, although probably too long. That was a bad decision to begin with. But you can't turn a battleship around that quickly. Somebody I know named Rob Thompson loves that phrase.
It's true.
And it's true. So when you look at where Mike McCarthy is at, everybody on the short list that Jerry has, all the big names, whichever way you think he's going to go, well, that's everybody else's short list. There's already 3 openings in the NFL. You figure Jacksonville's going to come open, so that's going to be 4. Cleveland, maybe. Cincinnati, maybe. Oakland or Las Vegas, maybe. I mean, you could have 8 to 10 openings. When it's all said and done, all of those openings would be competing for the same job. Are you going to replace Mike McCarthy with somebody better? And then you got to figure out the staff. What does your quarterback want?
That's the next question.
You just made your quarterback the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And you did that. So at that point, don't you figure you have to make sure that guy is happy with the offense that is going to be there? Don't you figure that Dak Prescott will have the opportunity, as we're looking at some great tomahawks? Man, that looks good. Absolutely, that looks good. At that point, what influence, what input will Dak Prescott have?
How much should he have? How much would you give him?
I wouldn't give him 100%, but I would want to know, one, give me all your thoughts on Dak, good, bad, or indifferent. Because we also know that, he was a fan of Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore is gone. He loved, who was it? Mark Sanchez was his backup when he first got the job, or was on the.
He was. He helped to build that offense,
He loved him, and that guy didn't stick around. So I don't know how much Jerry listens to him or not. But if not, who do you like? Because if you don't have that relationship between the coach and the quarterback, you're screwed. I think one of the reasons why Cliff Kingsbury's name is even talked about for the Chicago job is because of his relationship with Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams loves the guy.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, let's go back. Cliff, where was he going to go? To the Raiders? Had the job for 8 minutes. They printed business cards, and they said, no, I'm going to Washington, because he knew they were going to get Jaden Daniels. Dan Quinn knew that there was a weird kind of relationship that Cliff had with Jaden Daniels, and boom, he ends up with the OC job there. So if not Mike, Dak, who are some of the other guys that you would want?
It's when you're dealing with the Jerry part of the equation is just the wild card, because I don't know the top guys. Of course, the Vrabels and the Belichicks are going to be kicked around. I don't see any reason why those 2 guys would want to come here. Why on earth would they want to come and put up with this?
Well, I mean, because it's one of 32 jobs. And if you are the guy that actually gets the Cowboys to the Super Bowl again, I mean, everybody has to deal with weird ownership and bad ownership. Think about the Canales guy with Carolina. You talk about bad owners. I mean, Cincinnati and their ownership.
It's not about Jerry being it is about Jerry being he's not a bad owner. He's just a busy owner. It's his team, and he treats it as such.
And he's in the public eye, which is one of the reasons I think Dion is not even a candidate. The spotlight ain't big enough.
No,
the Cowboys have a face of the franchise. His name is Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of reasons why I don't think it's time. Eventually, it could be, but I don't think that there's a lot of there anymore because McCarthy went in, and I'm sure everybody who knew Mike McCarthy knew there were certain things that would never happen with Mike. We'd never have to go places, especially after what he had to deal with in Green Bay, which he didn't have one owner, he had a million, but he had to, I bet he had to go and do some things because he didn't have an owner to back him up. He had a million owners, and he did some stuff he never thought he'd have to do. And then he shows up with the Cowboys, and Jerry is the tiny stream that creates the Grand Canyon. He just keeps grinding and keeps grinding and keeps grinding. And before you know it, McCarthy's in a situation where he can't even believe he got here. If it was just him, he wouldn't have been like this. But here he sits, waiting for Jerry to give him the approval to stay. And I'm watching, if I'm Vrabel, and if I'm Belichick, I go, I saw what happened to a good man. I watched him get ground down just constantly from all the pressure. I don't want that.
Yeah, but I think every job is like that. I mean, we were all stunned when Vrabel got let go in Tennessee. And I think every NFL job, every coach is great until they're not.
But Tennessee is the hinterlands to the Cowboys.
Sure.
I mean,
but it's one of 32. The other part of it, though, to what you just said, why do we think Mike McCarthy wants to sign an extension? I mean, he will be a free agent. That dude went and hired a new agent at the beginning of this year and did not get an extension. That new agent's job is to be looking under all the rocks and seeing what opportunities are going to be out there for Mike McCarthy. If Cincinnati comes open, if you're McCarthy, do you want to stay in Dallas or would you rather go close to home? Pittsburgh is where he's from. Go to Cincinnati. You got Joe Burrow. You got to fix a defense, but would you want that job over the one you currently have? Mike McCarthy has options too. Last year, they were worried that Dak Prescott would become a free agent and could leave. So they took care of him on the first day of this season. Mike McCarthy's going to have that same option. We keep talking about if Jerry wants to bring him back. What if Mike McCarthy doesn't necessarily want to come back?
I don't think that's that far out of the realm. And he's certainly a prideful man, but the very idea that he would be first on anybody's list. I mean, he would have to float around for a minute. Nobody's calling him first. I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that if I was fan of name any city and they had just fired the coach and Mike Brown from Cincinnati walked in and said, well, Taylor's gone, Zach's gone, but just brought in Mike McCarthy. You think that'd be met with a round of applause? No, and it might not be. It's not fair. He probably would be an upgrade, but you can't bring in a losing coach from the Cowboys and expect your fan base to be excited.
Again, you say this year losing, although
what have you done for me
close
lately?
to 500, the 3 straight 12-win seasons, we all look at it as very short term. It's hard to win 12 in a row, or 12 games 3 years in a row. And those owners and the GMs, they'll all look at it that way.
But there's certain jobs that he's better for, and there's certain coaches that are better for Dallas. I don't think if you're going to hire a coach to come to Dallas, it can't be his first job. This would not be. This is
so
not
you're
the
scratching
place
Ben Johnson
for Ben Johnson to begin his coaching career. It'll eat him up. It won't work.
Yeah,
he would have to bring in.
Remember all the rumors about like Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma for Dallas?
They'd chew him up and spit him out. That can't work. So there's such a short list that Mike McCarthy might be the default guy just because there's nobody else.
Again, that's with a lot of competition for the 2 or 3 guys. Are they going to be better than McCarthy? Another reason why, maybe firing this guy, especially because he hasn't lost that locker room, could end up happening. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. A.J. Hoffman was here, but he got cold and left.
He has an appointment.
Oh, yeah?
It's an appointment.
I saw him with a bag of meat. What did he say? Got a tri-tip?
Yeah, I think he said he dry sausage, but he was going to cook a tri-tip.
Yeah. So you don't get to meet A.J., but you can't see Rob.
I think he might be back.
Maybe. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. At SASportsStar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
Let's face it, winter can be a hard season. It's cold pretty much all the time. Blizzard, you have to shovel. Another blizzard, you slip on ice. But you know what makes winter suck a little less? Getting a free phone. Join Cricket Nation and get a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. Ooh, ouch. Welcome to enjoying more. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must open a new line on the $60 unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Pennzoil Platinum can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $35.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
No Wimby, no Winnie. The San Antonio Spurs fell 139-124 to the Chicago Bulls last night. Oh, they'll get back at it again. They're going to go back-to-back, welcoming in the Kings to the Frost Center, 7 o'clock for your tip. It's conference title weekend, and it'll get going live right here, the AAC championship game. Army-Tulane right here at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location for demo days. Rob Thompson in for Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Yep, Rob. Yeah, work in the afternoon. Sure, no problem. Where we're going to be? Yeah.
I'd like to thank you for
free
this.
brisket, burn ends, tomahawk competition we get to judge. Yeah, I'll work a double.
This is a fine little soiree we've thrown together. There is no better place to be. Huebner Road, Lock Hill, Selma.
Absolutely. Come
Right
on out of here.
Seriously, the meat is spectacular. The sausage, that's house sausage, right? That's
yeah, from Tri-County.
Spot on.
Every
spot on.
Every piece of meat that is being sampled here is from Tri-County Meat Market. The seasonings are Gulf Coast Smoke, and Alonzo from Gulf Coast Smoke is here sampling up meats. We got Julio's chips, we got pecans, we got Maggie Mae's inside with the macaroni and cheese and the twice-baked potatoes, which are phenomenal, and some of their other products that they have from Maggie Mae's. It is fantastic. and I got to tell the story.
Come by. Pull off the highway. I'm not kidding. If you're close, come.
Yeah. Well, in for Maggie Mae's, inside, she's wearing a vest, and you have a vest on, and you and Greg Shelton were having a vest conversation because today is officially the first day of winter.
It's the first day of winter
in San Antonio. Yeah. And Rob Thompson judged the first day of winter based on the fact that Greg Shelton put on pants.
Shelton's got long pants on. We haven't seen that since February of last year.
Well, or unless he has court. But
or he's seeing his PO. But other than that.
It is one of those things. But it's also vest season. Now, I'm not much of a vest guy, but partly I've never owned one. I don't know. I'm more of a half-zip guy, but you're going with a vest. Inside, she's wearing a vest that she said she got on Amazon for $40 that has a heater in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had those things.
Yeah.
For $40.
Yeah, you've got time, man. We're not leaving for a week. You can have that on your person because it's going to be cold in DC next Saturday.
Yes.
So I think that's a worthy investment for you. But above and beyond that, once you go vest, you don't go back.
Oh, really?
You don't go once you put the vest on and you keep your core. It's all about your core warm. You never go back.
Well, and I certainly could see that. I know where you're going with that.
It also hides the ponson. You don't see it so much.
Oh,
so there's a lot of things that, and
because you do look slimmer, Rob.
I am. Well, I'm holding it in, and right here right there. If you're carrying something, you
right there.
You keep your stuff right.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm not sure what he's reaching for or where because that's just out of camera.
You got your thing.
It's too cold for that.
No, so if you had to put and then you can put stuff here. So I mean, you can. So in case you're worried about getting jacked, you've got all your stuff with you.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Once you go vest, you won't go back.
Well, I'm just the battery operators. I know they have like ski equipment and for motorcycle guys. I didn't know you could just get one to. I don't know.
Are you ready for this technology? Can you handle this?
I don't know. I'm excited about it. But I'm going to go on Amazon. I'm going to buy a vest that's got a heater in it.
You can buy
the greatest thing ever.
You've seen the gloves with those inserts too, right?
No, I think we normally buy those little packs that you can put in your gloves and in your shoes.
Yeah, those things.
They work for I don't know 20 minutes.
Like nuclear dirt. What does that work?
I have no idea how it works. I don't care how it works.
Well,
I just want it to work.
Dirt.
I was looking for those today for us to come out here to Tri-County Meat Market, and then you get people like Wookie over here who doesn't even have a jacket on.
He's normal. You're the cold one.
I don't think he's normal. We've had conversations with him. He's not normal.
Normal's a relative term.
Yeah.
As far as the cold goes.
Explain normal. I don't know.
I know it when I see it, and I'm not sure I see it.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
As we get into the headline blitz, as we await for the Tomahawk competition, Alonzo's isn't quite yet ready. So, Alonzo, you can't speed up the process. No. That's it. You just got to wait for that meet to be ready. But we're talking about Army-Navy next week, next Thursday and Friday, both the Morning Huddle and the Blitz live in Washington, D.C. for the 125th Army-Navy game presented by USA. It's going to be a lot. It's always the best trip. It's incredible. Announced that Donald Trump will be at the Army-Navy game next week.
Which we've met him. We've been around. I've been shoved to the wall with a Uzi carrying security service more than once. So all I can think of is, of course I expected him to be there along with a lot of other scrambled egg hat wearing types. But all it makes me think is, man, the security's going to suck. The security's going to be forever.
The security does suck when the president is in the building. But it's been a while since we've had a president show up at the Army-Navy game.
It was him.
It was
him in 17, right?
Donald Trump in 16, I think. 16? Because we were in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And when you're in a building with the president, when you're in a room with the president, things are different. Now, we were kind of in the room with Donald Trump, who was very different than, say, when President Obama, we were all on the field, and he just walked up and he shook everybody's hand, which was
I wasn't there for that one.
So, but in Baltimore, the way their press box is set up, they've got like a media room, and then in the middle, you got all the broadcast booths, and then there's another room that had all the food and the bathrooms. So the president, Trump, was doing a TV interview at halftime, and they wouldn't let anybody walk down the hall. Now, granted, he's in a booth, doors are closed, there's a hallway, there's all kinds of stuff, but all the food and the bathrooms are on the other side, and they would not let anybody leave, and there was a damn near riot in that press box.
Because we all were working on a time blood. I mean, it was halftime. Everybody had to triple S it, Everybody, we had 3 minutes to get everything taken care of, and the Secret Service, while heavily armed, didn't understand the need for us to move from one side to the other.
Well, and the idea that nobody was going down that hallway anyway. But the way they, and then the different secret tunnels they'll create, and you're right, the security. So if you're planning on going to the Army-Navy game next week,
get there early.
We do know a lot of San Antonians do travel up. In fact, the captain of
San Antonio's
Army,
own,
Max Domenico, and I know his dad.
How many tackles he have by now? Thousands?
Man, he's captain at West Point. I mean, he's a stud. Backup quarterback, although third string, but might be backup for this one unless the starter gets healthy again. Jackson Gutierrez, a true freshman. Last year I'm calling his game. He's quarterbacking John Jay. And, last week he finally, he's a freshman, true freshman. Last week he gets into the game for the first time against East Carolina because, the starter who's technically the backup because the regular starter's out, Jackson gets in the game and really provided a spark. So always cool when you see the San Antonio types in the game. And Gary Gutierrez, the head coach of John Jay, Jackson's dad, I know he's going. With the president in the building, it's going to be pretty wild. And the scene. And I'm curious, though, because he's president-elect, does he do presidential things? Because that's one of the cool things when the president is there in the first half.
Yep.
He sits with either Army or Navy. And then at halftime, there's this ceremony where he comes down out of the stands, walks across the field, and then climbs up and sits with those cadets.
I guarantee you he'll do it. He should. He's there.
Yeah.
He's the elect.
Well, and you wonder, does Biden show up for one? I mean, could we have them both in the building?
I don't think Joe's going to be there.
It's
a long walk, Jason.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's going to add to the trip next week for sure. Randy Moss, with an announcement today, said, I don't know what he's going through. He hasn't announced officially, but last week on Countdown, he starts the show saying, I'm dealing with something health-wise internally, so I'm going to wear shades. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm going through some stuff. Pray for me. And they do the show. And everybody on Countdown, started wearing glasses, either regular glasses, not sunglasses like Randy Moss. Today it was announced he's stepping away from Countdown to deal with whatever health issues he has going on.
And it's ocular? It has to do with his eyes?
I mean, he hasn't announced anything, but he's wearing sunglasses.
I didn't know this. I didn't know that the whole sunglass thing either.
Yeah. No, he hasn't revealed what he's going through, but it's something internal. And, 2 weeks ago, I guess he didn't look right. There were some questions about his eyes. And so last week he wore sunglasses. This week he's not going to be on the show at all. And you think about Randy Moss, when he first got into television, a lot of people are like, Randy on television. He has turned out to be one hell of an analyst, one hell of a TV personality.
He's the best part of that show.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, until Greeny got there. I mean, everybody else was sidebar. He has done a good job. I'm just kind of floored. I hope.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and he hasn't revealed specifically what he is dealing with. You just hope that they're able to deal with it quickly and he can get back to work.
Well,
because he loves what he does.
Do we know he's gone for indefinitely? No, I mean,
yeah,
it's
indefinitely.
Just not, well, yeah,
stepping away to deal with.
Well, get well, Randy.
It's like Woj, revealing his prostate cancer diagnosis. And he said, he says he's going to be fine, caught it early, but wanted people to know dude, go get checked.
You're right.
Go get checked. Early detection is the key.
So he didn't leave to be the general manager of the Fordham basketball program?
Well, the St. Bonaventure.
Or was it St. Bonnie's?
Yeah, it's upstate New York. Think about this dude was making $7 million a year at ESPN. And now he's got an apartment above a bar in a college town.
Well,
being the GM.
Most guys end up that way after a pretty significant divorce. Most guys end up there.
He still has his family. Yeah, it's all there.
I know some guys that ended up right there, not through that doing though.
Yeah. Get tested. Get checked. Be well for all of them.
I'm fine.
Are you fine?
I've gone through my annual.
All right. You're shivering some.
Well, just not in memory of the annual. I'm not shivering from the memory of Dr. Jellyfinger.
You're talking about it while adjusting on your chair.
I was like shivering because of that. I can tell you.
All right.
Although that does make me kind of quiver just a little bit.
Exactly. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location for demo days. We're going to have a tomahawk eating competition coming up. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, we will adjust cameras so you can see the tomahawks that are coming through. So get over to the YouTube page, go to YouTube, subscribe, search San Antonio Sports Star. You'll find Rob Thompson in for Joe Reinagel, who's off to a great start in Las Vegas. That SOB just sent us a picture of a slip. You didn't see that?
He didn't win that.
Well,
I know. This is money.
You think that was Maggie?
I have a feeling that Maggie took that slip in.
You think that was Maggie?
You think Joe would have bet that kind of money? No way.
Well, I could see Maggie winning that kind of money. And looking where it cashed out at, it was probably a lot more than he lost down to, okay, I'm going to walk away at this point, and actually did. Because it's 118 over there in Vegas, so he probably had to go to lunch. Yeah, look at that SOB.
All right, good for him.
Well, see, that's the problem. You start your trip like that, yikes.
Well, I'm good. Yeah, we had to lead that in with the. That's a good run there.
Well, that is. Let's just say.
But he had the picture of the tomahawk to come back with.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Next Thursday, he's buying dinner based off that slip. In Washington, D.C., when we're out there for the Army-Navy game. You can come see us here, get some free food, some samples here. You won't be hungry, I promise you. At Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
GiveMeTheVin.com salutes independence. Following the Bolshevik Revolution, the Republic of Finland declared itself independent of the Russian Soviet Socialist Republic on this day in 1917. Declare yourself independent from lowball offers on your car when you go to GiveMeTheVin.com. We'll free you from the high-pressure games and make it easy to sell your car. Just go to GiveMeTheVin.com and get a great offer fast. Another reason why GiveMeTheVin is America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-319-3687. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit JoeGomezLaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix. Joe Reinagel, he's off today. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle.
We're both having equally successful days.
Yeah, sure. Rob Thompson hanging out. We're live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. We've got this Tomahawk Challenge coming up. We're trying to see, I believe 2 of the 3 Tommies are ready. All 3 of the 3 are ready. So get to the YouTube channel, San Antonio Sports Stars YouTube channel, and we are going to figure out how we're going to do this. Let's see. Oh, they're way over there.
All right, Greg, handle the logistics with this. Yeah, exactly. We can't go over there.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's turn this camera around like that.
We'll turn
and
where we have this.
All right. We'll see that.
See, look at that. That's a great angle. That's a great angle.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that's the backside of the trailer. You see one Tomahawk is already up there. So what we will do is we will get them all 3 up there, and then they will come by and get closer to the camera. On film, you see Greg Shelton has stolen a Tomahawk. And you realize, especially with that crazy deal in New York, everywhere you go, you're on camera. All right, look at this. All right. Oh, yeah, right there. Oh, that's George's Tomahawk. That looks fantastic.
Oh, wait.
All right. All right, can we get the other one? Let's see. Let's see Alonzo's Tomahawk. Where'd the other one go? All right, Greg, bring this one by. Greg, will you bring the other one by here? That one. This is from Gulf Coast Smoke. And look at that Tomahawk.
She's pretty.
Man, that looks fantastic. So we need to get the third one, which will be Joe Herring from Tri-County Meat Market. I don't know if your deer knife is going to be necessary for this,
clean.
Rob Thompson.
She's clean.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. All right, and here's the next one. Oh, you could see this one has a little garlic butter on there Joe's, melting off. Yep, that's the one from Joe from Tri-County Meat Market. So now they're going to go do something and slice them up so they're blind taste testing so we don't know whose is whose. Just slice them and put them on a plate and bring them over, and we'll figure it out. We need 3 plates. Yeah. And we'll with 3 pieces of meat on each plate so we can figure out who's who.
It's 9 pieces.
9 pieces. Yeah, well, it's because Greg Shelton demanded to be a part of this. You know, Greg Shelton, who loves being behind the scenes,
he deserves to have it more than we do.
I'm standing out here. I'm a part of this. He's actually going to smile. It's a weird day in the world when Greg Shelton smiles, but this is a way that could happen.
We've got some. I know the Gulf Coast. We've got some of the rub.
Yes,
there's a rub that I haven't used. I don't know which one he's used. Is Joe using any of his?
Yeah, I believe. We'll have to ask him. I want to say that was the Tri-County rub that was on Joe's.
I would assume. I don't know. It could have been.
Well, you don't,
because the Gulf Coast would use his own, right? I wouldn't have given my special sauce to my competitor.
Well, but then you also look at your techniques, different things that you're doing. I mean, but yeah, I do believe this is going to end up being more about what is the actual rub,
because they are starting with equally fantastic pieces of meat.
Yes, they are.
That were probably on the same cow.
Maybe. I mean, right off the ranch.
Ribs all standing by each other. You figure they're coming off the same.
Yeah. Well, and they were cut here at Tri-County Meat Market, so
that cow probably walked in the back.
It's possible.
Jogged in here.
Well, they do that. Let's talk about the crap last night from the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, they had the best win of the year. The Sacramento win on the road was their best win. Not the most impressive, but it was their best win. They were behind
23 threes.
They came back. They hit shots. They executed. They played stellar defense to the end. They didn't do anything stupid, and they won the game. And from that moment, that team to what I saw last night, it's not just Victor. Obviously, Victor wasn't there, and that hurts. But that was awful. That was a lackluster, uninspired, we ain't going to win because Victor ain't here kind of night.
Well, defensively, they give up 139 points. They score 124, but it's off to another slow start. All right.
That's first plate.
Oh, this is first plate?
Yeah.
All right, how are we doing this?
However you want to do it.
All right, so this
Bring
is
3
off the same
equal
stakes.
plates. Oh, this is all okay. There we go.
All right. Contestant number 1.
I don't want to ruin my glove
fantastic.
here.
Oh,
All right, so this is 1.
Okay. That's really good.
Oh my Lord.
That's good. How are we going to judge them? I don't know. We are bribable. If you guys want some of this tomahawk, you can come by here. I mean, there's enough for everybody.
Rob is having a moment.
Rob is having a moment. You can actually see him having a moment.
That is so
live on YouTube.
Ridiculously tender.
All right. I know. All right. Contestant number 2. Got Brian Herring, the owner here at Tri-County Meat Market, bringing these by. Man, that looks fantastic. Look at this. Holy cow. Look at that. You all right, Rob? Look at Rob. Huh?
The first one, what was it?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely done different.
That was really good. Don't mean to eat on the air, but
man,
get to YouTube. You've got to see these reactions.
Sometimes work sucks, doesn't it?
I think my eyes just rolled back in my head. Okay,
Exactly.
So the second one, a little bit more of a char on it.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. 9 and 7.
Oh, are we ranking from 1 to 10?
Well,
okay.
I don't know.
Am I giving a number?
Is that how we're doing
ballot? Let me have the third one, and I'll rank them.
I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute. Right now, I like 1 better than 2. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna let out what I believe, but
why not? Mm-hmm.
Your eyes told me.
I want to have a third one so I can rank them, and then I'm gonna have to try it all again.
Oh, really? Number 3 already?
This one's got some.
Looks
like it's been sauced.
Oh, here you go.
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh. First of all, the quality of the meat.
Quality
like
of meat.
butter, man.
It's fantastic.
You don't even have to chew it. I just looked at it. And
you just looked at it.
Stared at it and it just kind of disappeared like vapor.
Stared at it and it disappeared like vapor.
I'm going to have some left in my beard for later. This is fantastic. All right. I know how I'm voting.
How are you going to vote?
Are we talking about it out loud?
No. Well, all right. We'll take a break, come back, figure this out, and then talk Spurs. Does that work?
I think Wemby needs to eat 2 or 3 of these. Let's put some meat on them ankles.
Wemby needs a lot of these.
That'll straighten his back up.
Man, that's good.
A little of that backbone.
Mm-hmm.
French eat like this?
No.
I didn't think so. Look how skinny he is. And bring him over here.
That's good. We'll decide a winner after this here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Always like my meat big.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Busy weekend done. Conference champions named. The playoffs are ready.
And it's Simpsons night. Cowboys, Bengals in the Simpsons broadcast. This is the game of the year. It's got to be. We'll talk about it and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Prize Picks. I got a question for you. Do you want to win 100 times your money? Well, Prize Picks can do it with as little as 4 correct picks. Let me tell you, if you're a fantasy player, you know the game. Put it to its use. Do you know James Cook's going to go off this week? How about Joe Burrow? Hey, let's talk about Pat Mahomes. Not quite the year, but you know how to play him. Is it more or is it less? You know the play. Just make your pick, and you can turn it to big money easy. And if you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, and they often do, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Remember, download the app today and use the code Alamo. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Pat Mahomes had a good day, but it was less, and I took it home. If you know it, go play it. PrizePicks. Run your game.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix. Joe Reinagel on vacation today, so Rob Thompson is sitting in from the Morning Huddle live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location for their demo days. And boy, did we just have quite the demo with some Tomahawks and our friend Alonzo from Gulf Coast Smoke hanging out with us. Alonzo, you came in dead last, my friend.
Man, it is what it is.
You're a rub maker.
It just is what it is.
You're a rub maker. We know. I mean, you stick with your specialty.
He is a competition griller who has done so much for me in my grilling game with his YouTube channel. Go find it at Gulf Coast Smoke and your rubs that they have here at Tri-County Meat Market. But the final tally of all things, I believe,
it went 1-3-2.
1-3-2.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Now, I will say, Rob liked yours the best, but Greg
Rob has
Shelton,
good taste.
But Rob,
you had a char. I like the
Rob
char.
has really good taste.
There was a char there, but there was very little difference. But I think yours. Which rub of yours did you use? Because I've used 2 of your 3. And
Yes.
the white label.
Well,
I
he's got
haven't
like
had.
5.
I've got 5.
Well,
now.
I have the blue.
He's got 5 kids.
I use the blue and the yellow.
So
I use the blue and the yellow.
Yeah,
and
so
I don't have the white.
on the steak today, I used our blue label Southern Belle, and then on top I put Trifecta, which is our newest one. I put a really light layer of that because it's got about equal parts sugar and salt, so it's really, really right down the middle. But, man, it just gives it a good flavor. And like I said, Rob, you've got really good taste. These other 2 cats, I'm really not sure. But, hey, I'll tell you this much, though.
I didn't tell you I was available for
third
bribery.
out of this group, hey, I'll take it all day, every day. That's still bronze, man.
Well, and you know, the crazy thing is, while Joe Herring officially wins this thing, George Cantu was quick to say, who cooked this steak? I did. So George is claiming victory as well.
If I'm being honest, we actually all used George's pit, and he was the one that was manning the fire. If I'm being 100% honest, because you guys saw me, I was cooking on my Weber kettle, my little baby kettle, and my steak was like, I still was going to have another 45 minutes to go probably. And everyone's like, yo, we kind of got to get this going. So we just threw it on George's grill, and George finished them off, if I'm being 100% honest.
Well,
so technically he kind of...
So he screwed you over.
No.
Yeah, he
but
screwed you over. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
No, I'll tell you this much. I put the char on it on the kettle.
Uh-huh.
I put the char on. You saw me over there. I was searing that thing, but man, I tasted mine. I thought it was good. I'll take it all day.
I'm interested, as a guy who pretends to be a barbecue guy.
You're talking about you or me?
Well, both of us.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm the true pretender. What goes into building a rub?
Man, so I mean, it just takes kind of.
So do you you've got 5?
I
do. Do you wake up and go, man, if I had a rub that hinted of X, like I want one that feels like more human or something else than others. Do you start that way, or do you go from the other direction and then you top it off with the flavor that you're chasing?
Yeah, so I mean, our first 3 were pretty basic, right? So we wanted a sweet, we wanted a spicy, and we wanted a beef.
Okay.
From there, we just kind of figured, what do we like in barbecue?
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I like a little bit of black pepper whenever I'm seasoning my ribs or my chicken or really whatever. So our Trifecta has a little bit of extra added black pepper, and it's got the same size granules as the rest of the ingredients in there for even layering. Our that base, we felt like it was just really, it's needed. It's a salt, pepper, garlic blend. Everybody should have a good one in your house, even if you're not grilling.
You get down to granule size?
For sure, because if you think about it, right, like 16 mesh black pepper is a larger granule than an onion powder. So they're not going to really mix properly in a bottle. Like the volume of the 16 mesh black pepper comes to the top.
I hate when that happens, by the way.
And so a lot of people don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about the sizes of the granules. Well, at least we do, because we want every single shake out of our bottle to be exactly the same.
You know, it's
GCS,
interesting because I look at the Gulf Coast Smoke, and whether it's online here at Tri-County Meat Market, of all the different rubs that I've tried when we started, barbecuing and grilling during COVID. I mean, for me, that's really when it started.
Sure.
And, I'm doing a lot of meat church, and I found your videos. And and
y'all had a deal in a parking lot.
It was
sundown.
Absolutely. I mean, very, very true. But I started with Southern Hospitality.
Yep.
But your new one, Trifecta. What the hell is different with that one, and how is that one so much better on everything, like eggs?
Yeah,
I can't make eggs now without some sort of seasoning.
Yeah, so I mean, what makes it better is it's so hard to say, but I'll tell you what, it is completely different from Southern Hospitality.
Yeah.
So we built Southern Hospitality literally to be a sweet, smoky barbecue rub, which is exactly what you get with it. With Trifecta, we were actually originally trying to make a fry seasoning, something to put in like fried fish batter or fried chicken batter. And I just kept changing it because it wasn't right. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. We were trying to figure out a seasoning where we can be at more people's homes. You don't have to compete to use our stuff.
Right.
You don't have to be smoking a 14-hour brisket to use our stuff. We wanted something that you could use in your house. But, man, when we finally got down to it, we're like, this is so good. We got to try it on ribs. We're just like, man, this is crazy good. So Trifecta is actually for brine season inject. So I use it to inject like my turkey breast this year.
Uh-huh.
Right. And then you can brine your chicken wings with it, and then you can season with it. So that's actually what Trifecta is for. People think it's for pork, chicken, beef. It's for inject, season,
This is for those that just go by label color. We're talking white GCS.
Yes.
Right.
The trifecta?
Trifecta is the white one, yeah.
And then the blue is
Southern Belle,
which is the OG, right?
Yep.
That's the one I got started with, and it still will always be my go-to for eggs. It's the best thing on eggs and bacon. You can go to. I'm not kidding.
Try this new one on your bacon.
Well, I'll try it, but I've already got my favorite. Why would I want to shift? I know what I like, and it's going to be blue. It's GCS blue.
There you go. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm telling for those that are rub aficionados, you've hit it on the head. I've always wondered how you build a spice like that. Very interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, my wife and I start in our kitchen, try and think something up, and then over time we just hopefully perfect it.
Well, I love watching people grow.
Sure.
And I think about where we met, how long we've known each other, which hasn't been all that long, less than 5 years.
Yeah.
And now you got a whole storefront down there on the coast, and a TV studio for your YouTube channel, which is killing it.
Yeah.
And you can't keep them in stock here.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's worth it. I kid you not. Come get it, however you need to get it, and
I appreciate that.
You will not turn back. It's as good as there is.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been a definite. It's been a really cool journey. Kind of didn't think it would ever get to this, but we're just going day by day and doing what we can do. That's it.
Well, getting it all done. Your kids aren't listening, right?
They're not.
He's got to run. He's taking the kids somewhere fun tomorrow.
Oh,
we're going to Disney.
Yeah, they're going to the happiest place.
You going to Disney?
Yeah.
Don't tell his kids though. It's a surprise.
Well, all right.
They're gonna wake up tomorrow and where are we going? I don't want to go. Oh, what?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah.
Oh,
dang.
Oh,
An
look at
autograph
that.
photo.
Wow.
This
Wow.
is Joe season.
Joe
from
Herring.
one connoisseur to another.
Yes.
From one rub.
Yes. Let me move this camera here.
Can I sell this? How much you figure this can go for on eBay?
On eBay? on eBay, that might get you $3. The autograph version. I mean, they'll sell it to you
what's
here for
inside's
10.
worth more than what's outside. I can tell you that.
Yeah. You
collector's
should,
item.
I'll
keep this in.
You
my
should
office.
see how he signed a bottle for me last year.
I didn't know you could cuss like that.
Huh?
I didn't know you could curse like that.
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's just say it'd be kind of comical.
Yep.
I want my own particular rub. You can quote that if you like. There's no other way to put that out there. I need to make
exactly
that, because to be able to pretty good rub, but to be able to repeat it, is extraordinary to me.
Well, that's it.
Mhm.
That's what it is. Alonzo, I know you got to run.
I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you coming
thank
out.
you, man. Thank you.
No problem. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. Generally, the third place guy doesn't get interviewed, but in this case, we had to. We had to.
He's number one in my heart.
And again, I honestly a little surprised by the outcome. No bribery actually involved in that because, you go through and you eat, and man, there's plenty of tomahawk.
Is it all gone?
And plenty, no.
Okay.
Plenty of other meats. It's
Well,
all
wait a
that
minute.
big pit
How
right
did
there.
Greg just get some more?
Huh? How did Greg get
I
some
don't
more?
want to mess your gloves up.
I mean, Greg just keeps putting them in his pockets. I mean, he's going to go home later, and his dog is going to attack him like she's never attacked him before.
I'll set aside some from Josie.
Yeah.
Josie, she's earned it.
Josie is the best dog in the world, and how the hell that poor dog got stuck with Greg Shelton is beyond
Well, she
me.
keeps him on a tight leash. She takes care of him.
Well, yeah.
She walks him every day, wakes him up in the morning.
Want to hear a funny ass story?
I like those.
You can appreciate this, and I think our listeners that have been around for 10 plus years, grumpy ass Greg Shelton has earned his nickname, right?
Oh yes.
So last week we're doing a show over at the Angry Elephants the day before Thanksgiving, getting ready for that big Aggie Texas game, and we're over at the Angry Elephant, and Halen, our newest engineer,
Mr. Jolly,
is the on-site engineer because Greg Shelton had a vacation day. Now, Halen looks about 14, maybe 12. He's, mid to late 20s, I would guess. But he does a lot of things like Greg Shelton, like tries to talk and interject in the show without a microphone, which is always baffling that a radio engineer who understands how radio works would try to talk to you on the air without a microphone. And I made the comment that you are Greg Shelton's son. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I get home and my wife, I think literally mad, like in the most serious of tone. How long have I known Greg Shelton? I did not know he had a son.
Well, it's You know how they say how married couples after a while they start looking like each other?
Yeah.
They start working together. They start looking like father and son. And now that you say it.
My wife literally thought that, Shelton got his kid a job at the radio station doing what is, she brought up, Rob had Jack working there for a while. Erica's working some in radio
So
and,
now,
works with
young
the Super Bowl.
Halen
Yeah. She literally thought that Greg Shelton actually had a son.
Well, the thing about that job is in about 2 years, he's going to look like Greg.
Well, he
Same
will.
age.
He will.
It ages you like you're the president.
Well, people meet Greg and they don't realize he's 31. Because he's on that side of it.
He was just a fresh-faced kid just 10 years ago.
See, and then you see, like the opposite when you're on this side of the building. Look at James Pledger. People don't realize that dude is actually 43.
He's actually getting younger by the day.
Because that's the way it works.
Benjamin Button.
Yes. Something along those lines. Something along those lines. You think about this weekend coming up in college football. Of the conference championship games, besides Texas, Georgia, which one are you most looking forward to watching?
I keep reading headlines where there could be chaos. I don't think there's going to be chaos, win or loss. I do think that the ACC game will have some sway because I do think Clemson wins, they're in. If they lose, I don't think they're in. So I do think there's some meat on that bone. The Big Ten champ, it doesn't matter. Both those teams are in. I can't imagine a scenario where Indiana gets knocked out or Penn State does. So the Big 12 game, we know the winner's in.
And the loser is coming to the Alamo Bowl.
We'll probably be in the Alamo Bowl. So there's, we'll find out for sure on Sunday. But I don't see a lot of chaos. I see a lot of gamesmanship. And that could, in fact, come into play here because there are some teams that if they lost, like, say, Texas, might get an easier draw than they would if they won.
It's crazy. And I look at last weekend's rankings, and I think the committee just sat there and said, how do we up with the world here? Because you look at the way that, and it created the most controversy out of all the weekly rating shows that they've done. And, you got, the Big 12 guy going, well, how can our champion not get a first round bye ahead of a Boise State or an SMU? And, to a degree, I agree
He's
with
right.
him.
If you were better, but no.
But when you look at, all the things that the committee says they look at, and yet you're not really seeing that in these said rankings. So if Clemson beats an SMU, we're going to have that's the one game that I think can create.
Do you think SMU's in regardless? Because if you think they're in.
Oh, SMU is not in regardless.
I feel like they've earned it. It would be hard for me if I'm the committee to now knock SMU out after all the big wins. This is what knocks you out?
Well, I don't know that they get more than, if Miami's not going, they're not going to have Clemson and SMU go.
Why not? I think if Clemson wins, Miami's done regardless. I think they told Miami last week, you're not going.
Well, Miami's first one out, right?
I think they signaled to them, you're first one out, and you're going to be out.
But they didn't have Clemson in. They have SMU winning that game. And so if it doesn't go chalk, I think that's where you could get some chaos. And then I hope some shuffling that can happen, because what I don't want to see in the final rankings, when they put the bracket out, I don't want to see SEC play SEC or Big Ten play,
we don't want
play
any of that.
Big Ten.
We don't want any of that. I think they'll do everything they can to avoid.
And I don't want to see that in the first or the second round, right? And so, right now, Texas, Georgia, Part 3 would be, and again, be a great matchup, but we've seen that one twice. Well, we'll have seen it twice. We don't need to, unless it's for the national championship, I don't know that we need to see that again. I hope at that point they shuffle the deck to create a bracket that is not just a good, compelling matchups, but we don't need to see Big Ten against Big Ten or SEC against SEC.
Especially with the possibility of some of these matchups being 3 times in a month. So, yeah, I can't imagine that being the case. I don't like the precedent of, the Big 12 is just guaranteed or not guaranteed. I think they deserve a team in, just because this is the way it's set up. But by the rankings, there's not a team worthy from the Big 12. Of all the things that have happened This is the one thing about the tournament where you look at it and go, I thought we were going to have an opportunity to have at least the 12 closest contenders to the throne. And I feel like even with 12, we're leaving a couple of teams out.
Well, we are. Well, but again, I mean, you've got the one making they're all making noise, but, a 3-loss Ole Miss team and a 3-loss Alabama team. And if I'm looking at 3 losses, Alabama, here's the thing. It's Alabama. We all know their reputation. We've seen them play great football. We've seen them lose to Vanderbilt. We saw them get curb stomped by Oklahoma. The loss to Oklahoma, I think, should automatically eliminate Alabama.
If they'd have played it as the last game of the year, it would have. But they got another game to the Iron Bowl was enough to get that taste out of everybody's mouth. But on the other side of that coin, Jason, I don't think you can have a conversation and talk about the 12 best teams in the country and not include Alabama. If we're legitimately looking for a national champion, which we're not, because we're allowing the likes of Boise and UNLV to play their way in, which we're allowing the fact that Arizona State or BYU could be in, and we know that neither one of those teams would even have made it out of a couple of conferences. But, I mean, representation is key. And I think if that's what the committee was chasing, they certainly have gotten that. But we're still not to where I thought we were going to be. Talk to me at the end of December after we have these remarkable couple of weeks, and I do think it's going to be crazy. I think there's going to be an upset or two. I think there's going to be a juggernaut, and we're going to see a ridiculous championship game when we finally get there in January. But right now, I feel like, wow, we've come so far, but I still feel like we're not there. I still feel like if I'm Ole Miss or if I'm South Carolina, I go, what's the point of all this? I'm one of the top 12 teams, and I'm still not in it.
And you look at it, and then you go, at 4 teams, there was arguments over number 5 and 6. At 12,
I agree.
We're arguing.
And we thought, if you're a 13th, you don't have a prayer. But I didn't throw in the variable that is the non-Power 5 schools guarantee in. I just didn't figure that Boise State or UNLV would have any role in keeping Ole Miss out of the playoff. I just didn't think that would be why, because we have to let these other guys in, whether they've earned it or not.
It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for I hope there's a little bit of chaos.
Oh, there will be. Not this weekend, I don't think. I think we're going to go chalk, and we're going to be arguing over ranking more than who's there.
Over rankings, and, of course, we'll find out, who's going to what bowl, where is UTSA going, where is A&M going, who's coming to San Antonio for the Valero Alamo Bowl. And it certainly feels like at least one of those teams might be the disappointment bowl if it's Iowa State or Arizona State. Mm-hmm. Although I think if you're Arizona State, you've had an incredible season that wasn't expected. I think they'd be thrilled to be able to come to a bowl like the Valero Alamo Bowl. I don't know if I would say the same about Iowa State. The same excitement level wouldn't be there like it was last time they were here, right. And they drank all the beer in the Alamo Dome, all that.
We ran out, baby.
Was it the what in the Beast, right? Bush. It was the Bush, all the Bush beer.
That was legendary. They drank all the beer in the Dome. I'd forgotten about that. I do like the idea of either one of these schools. I get the sense that Arizona State will probably travel because I think this year was an utter surprise to them. And as the season went on, you could tell the stands were getting more and more boisterous and full. And you look back at what Arizona State did. Keep in mind, earlier in the year, they came to San Marcos, and we picked Texas State to beat them.
Yeah.
And they are now in a potential
Texas State was favored.
Yes.
And Arizona State ruined their chances of being that playoff party crasher.
So yet another game you can catch right here.
Absolutely.
San Antonio Sports Star. But that, it doesn't seem that exciting because that's the letdown game of all of them. But they've got a puncher's chance, and that's really all you're chasing with 12 teams.
Come see us here at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. We got a lot of meat on that smoker over there. It's all yours to sample for free. Come see us here, Tri-County Meat Market, Huebner Road location on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
I want to tell you about the Golf Club of Texas because tonight is a huge game. We've been talking about it. And the best place to go watch that, the Golf Club of Texas. It's fantastic. And they've got some great specials going on. It is certainly worth your while to head on out to the Golf Club of Texas. And food out there is fantastic. It is just outstanding. And, you know, when you walk into the Golf Club of Texas, you really think you're walking into a country club, but you're not. It is open to the public 7 days a week with some of the best course conditions in town. If you haven't played the Golf Club of Texas lately, you need to get out and play it. They have put a lot of money and time into that golf course, and it is fantastic. Golf cart paths, all brand new. They've resodded everywhere. It is pristine. I will just say that. It is in great shape and is a great place to go play golf. You're not going to find a better deal in town. The Tin Cup restaurant is fantastic. Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. And whether you're going out there for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies or having your next tournament out there, which I recommend, by the way, go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
An accident or injury can derail your life in an instant, leaving you struggling to pay for medical bills and daily expenses. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe every Texan deserves justice, no matter their financial situation. That's why we offer our no-win, no-fee promise. You don't pay us unless we win your case. We know how difficult recovering from an accident can be. Let us handle your case while you focus on getting better. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility. Huddle up, the food's done. Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wines and beers all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
No Wemby, no Winnie. The San Antonio Spurs fell 139-124 to the Chicago Bulls last night. Oh, they'll get back at it again. They're going to go back-to-back, welcoming in the Kings to the Frost Center, 7 o'clock for your tip. It's conference title weekend, and it'll get going live right here, the AAC championship game. Army-Tulane right here at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix. Joe Reinagel out on this Friday. So Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle hanging out on the Blitz. Live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location for demo days.
Follow your nose.
Yeah,
the smoke's
that's all
in the air. We're sending up signals. Easy to find.
All you got to do, man, to drive down Huebner, see the smoke, and stop in. And I got to say, there are a lot of things that could distract you here, mainly smells. Wonderful, wonderful smells, right? Rob, you've been distracted for a while because there's a little baby here.
Yeah.
Brian Herring, who owns Tri-County Meat Market, he's got a little baby. So Joe and Jackie, grandparents now, and you're all into this. Jack listens to this show a lot.
Yes,
I don't know if we should have this conversation, but
I'm of the age, man. I've got my quota of Columbia fishing shirts. My kids have all empty nested me for the most part. I still got a little payroll action going, but yeah, I'm at that stage where I need me a grandbaby. I need one.
I have never seen a guy act like that around a baby.
Oh man.
I mean, it's one thing when I'm
jealous of guys that have a grandchild. I'm jealous of them. I know it's I would have never thought I would say that, but I've reached this point in my life where I want one. I don't.
I honestly, I've like every time my wife is around a little baby, I'm like, because I want nothing to do with that yet. But I mean, my kid's still at school. Get a job and get off the payroll.
I don't want one from mine.
Oh, not from yours.
I just want a rental baby, like a rental child,
a rental
that I could
baby.
like spoil and coach, and then I could just give back. But I never thought that I'd get this kind of thing. But when I see guys my age holding up their grandkids and the glow that these guys have, and as I'm getting ready for Christmas, I got no toys to put together. I'm not going to spend like 2 a.m. putting stickers on some kind of electric car. I miss that. I miss that.
Thank you. You're just. I mean.
I know. It's like a male menopause. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's something. Like I work with a guy that has a handful of grandbabies, and I mean, he loves them, but he likes giving them back.
Well, that's the great thing about this. But when I watch Joe walk up with his granddaughter,
Joe Herring from Tri-County,
and the absolute glow that man has, I want that. I'm envious.
Yeah. And then he handed the baby off, and now he's walking outside.
That's what you hand him off, and you go grab a beer and have some barbecue with the boys. That's the best thing about it.
But that little baby's in her little cart thing.
She's going, baby.
And just looking at you, it's like a puppy. You just want to
really
go play with it. Like, who are you? I've known you a long time, Rob. This is a side of you I'm not familiar with.
I'm listening to Christmas music. I'm putting up decorations. It's the season. I'm adopting my Santa Claus form.
So all of a sudden, I mean, you start waking up at an ungodly hour doing the morning huddle, and
well, I'm old now. Now I'm living like an old person.
You get up to pee and go to work.
I wake up at 5 a.m. I'm eating dinner at 4 with the rest of the folks at Luby's. I go to the first church service so that because there's too much standing in the second one. And that young preacher, he's a little bit too liberal for me. I like the old stuff. I've turned into that guy, and I need a grandchild.
Really?
I'm that guy.
I mean, I've just never seen a guy, especially you, that you see Joe with his grandbaby, and you're just like, dude, there's a brisket over there, but you would rather go talk to a little kid. You want one of those.
I want one.
You can have brisket and burnt ends, and you're over there playing with a baby.
I've reached that
what the hell has happened to you?
I've reached that age where I want to talk about the weather. I'm paying way too much attention to the weather. And I really do want to see your grandchild's pictures. I legitimately go, yeah, let me see them. I'm not the ones like, oh, yeah, show me your picture. No,
I don't give a damn about your dog.
I don't want to see any pictures of your dog, but as far as your pictures of your grandkid, I want to be that.
My buddy Carlos he's about to become a grandpa again, and I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm jealous.
And he's like, call me. Oh, we know what it is. I'm like, what are you talking about? The grandbaby.
You get a grandchild, that gives you license to do a bunch of stuff. Once you get a grandbaby, I can say whatever I want at the table now.
Oh, really?
I get to be grandpa at that
age?
Pops is allowed to do and say whatever the hell he wants when he's holding his granddaughter. That's how I'm ready to assume the mantle.
Does Jack know this?
Well, I don't want to talk openly about it because there's other ramifications of which I don't want to have to partake in, but I'm sure he's aware of his mother. See, another little sidebar to this is I have a brand new niece. I'm sorry, nephew. I have a brand new baby.
What?
I've got my niece had a brand new boy.
Okay.
Milo. So there's a little bit of baby fever running through the Thompson household.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I could understand your wife having these reactions, but not you.
I appreciate a good baby. I think if you smell a baby's head once a day, you'll live a year longer. Just from the smell of a baby's head.
The hell are you talking about?
There's a baby head smell that prolongs life. You think I'm kidding?
I don't know, but it's like when people say a baby smells good. I don't understand what you're talking about.
If done right, they do.
If done right.
As a father of sons, that's not always the case. But if done right, you can clean them up all right.
Yeah, I had lunch with a friend of mine. Natasha, you know Natasha. Yes. She became a grandma on Thanksgiving, and she's trying to show me pictures, and I'm like,
see, you don't care. Me, legitimately, I want to see the pictures.
And then I get home and I tell Joanna, and Joanna's asking me questions like, what's its name? I don't know. What is it?
Boy
or girl?
How much
I don't know if it was a boy or girl.
Time, early, late?
I don't know all of that. I mean,
hair? No hair?
I don't know.
See?
I know Natasha is being called Fabuela.
She's Portuguese.
Yeah,
she's Portuguese.
She added a fab to it. I'm like, I don't know
what would your grandfather name be?
I don't know.
You better come up with it. You might get saddled with something weird.
Grandpa? Hey, I don't know. What do you want to be?
An old coot.
What do you want to be called?
I think I'm going to be Pop.
Pop?
My dad's Pop. I'll be Pop. My dad's Pops. I'll be Pop.
Yeah.
But you might end up with something stupid like Mimi and Doodoo or something stupid. You never.
I don't think
you never know what's
going to.
Man, I've heard some weird ones. And you're like, how'd that happen? Well, that's the first word the kid said. So come on out here, Doodoo.
Yeah, because I know my dad was Papa because Joanna's dad was Grandpa.
See, so I had a Pawpaw and a Papaw. I had a Pawpaw and a Papaw. So I don't want that. I want to be singular. I want to be unique.
Just Pops.
Pops. What are we going to do with Pops?
Yeah.
Let's roll him out and give him some sun. Just roll Pops over.
Yeah.
Give him a beer. It'll keep him quiet.
There you go.
Okay, Boomer.
Of all the things I thought I was going to see today, that ain't one of them. Honestly. That was just that. I'm a little shook.
Well, don't be. Who would not want a darling little granddaughter like that? Who wouldn't want to have one of those around?
Me. I'm not there yet.
Well, again, you get to give it back. I'm not saying you.
Well,
and it
exactly. I mean, my house is the farthest thing from child-proof, and hell, so is yours.
No, mine is. It's a death trap. We just leave broken glass on the floor. Just to give the dog something to avoid when they're running around.
Who's got bigger baby fever, you or Kelly?
You know what? It's probably equal.
Really?
I think it is Christmas. I really do. I think it's this time of year where, they were just.
Are you kidding? So today, before I came over here to the Tri-County Huebner location, I went by the new Dallas Cowboys pro shop over there in Huebner Oaks.
Yeah.
Right? I had to go over there and get some stuff. And they're right next door to, I don't know, Bath and Body Works or whatever that is. There was a line out the door to get into.
It's Candle Day.
Because it's Candle Day.
Yes.
What the hell is Candle Day?
My wife was in that line.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, there's a couple of those Bed Bath & Beyond candles that are worth their weight in gold. And now they're normally 23 and they're only 9 today, baby.
And the fact that you know this, Grandma.
It's Candle Day. You're talking to a man who wants a granddaughter. You think I don't know it's Candle Day?
Well, I did not know, and I leave the store and I'm like, what's going on? It's Candle Day. I thought, like when Erica was little and we would go stand in that line for Kendra Scott.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I felt like that was going on.
Candle Day's a bit cheaper than Kendra Scott.
Well, yes. But I'm looking at this.
Lines.
So I thought, oh, well, I mean, I might as well do this because, Christmas is coming. I have a wife and a daughter. And I saw the line and
I'm not kidding. My wife is in that line.
Well,
at some point today.
I called my wife and said, hey, it's apparently Candle Day. If you want one, go stand in line. I got to go to work.
It is. And she should go get in line because those candles.
My wife said for $23, I'll pay the convenience fee.
Well, now it's only $9. That's just it. $9 today. That's why you go stand in line.
Well, all right, guys, just so you know.
I'm in the total Christmas spirit. Do you listen to Christmas music?
No.
You don't listen to Christmas music in the car?
No, I don't.
Well, I do.
No.
I sing. Well, until I heard there's only one Christmas song that should never be played again, and it's not the rapey one.
Well, now I got two questions. Which one shouldn't and which one is the...
Well, the rapey Christmas song.
I don't know the rapey Christmas song.
That one, the baby, like she's trying, it's time for me to leave. And he goes, take your clothes off. I really should leave. Where's my hand going? Whatever that is.
That's a Christmas song?
Well, that's how they make it sound like. You can't, you're not, that's the
You're not talking
one.
About Jingle Bells.
No.
Okay.
That's a different version.
Okay.
That's the porn movie.
Yeah.
That's a whole other that title.
Yeah.
Something else.
Right.
Don't Google it.
Yeah. Careful.
The Christmas song today that I finally heard, and it's been a couple of weeks, where the little girl is buying shoes for her bedridden mother who's going to meet Jesus that night. That's a Christmas song that they even made into a movie. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Good. You've had better Christmases than most. This should never be a Christmas song.
All right. And you heard that today?
It's a Christmas song. You only hear it during Christmas season. And it's a song about a little girl whose mom is going to die on Christmas Eve. And she doesn't have enough money to buy her mom some shoes.
Okay.
And she's going to die and see Jesus.
Okay.
That's a gather around the Christmas tree.
Let's get into the
have
spirit.
Some nog.
Yeah.
And just celebrate good stuff.
Yeah, that sounds...
It took 2.5 weeks, but I heard it today.
All right.
New shoes.
Yeah, new shoes. All right. We won't play that one for you here on the Blitz.
Don't, but I really should go.
Oh, good Lord.
Take off your sweater.
That is the
You need to
today.
smile more.
I don't know about all that.
You're so pretty when you smile.
Let's talk some NFL.
Where's your
football.
mom?
Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio.
I got to tell you what's going on in America, boy.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
I want to talk to you about Stevens Roofing. The weather's getting bad. It is. And that's, you want to make sure your roof is okay. Whether it's in the wintertime or the springtime when you have thunderstorms and all of that stuff, it's time to start thinking about that stuff. And Stevens Roofing, well, they are the company to call. Family-owned, local company, and they've been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas for a long, long time. So they're doing it right. Your roof is a very important part of your home, obviously, right? So you need a reliable roofer you can trust. And that reliable roofer is Stevens Roofing. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, whether you want a metal roof or a composition roof on your house, they can do it all. Stevens is licensed by the city of San Antonio, and estimates are always free. All you have to do is give them a call, 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else on the planet, you want to save a little bit of money, well, Stevens can help you out there as well. If you've been thinking about going solar, Stevens is in the solar business now as well. Solar panels are increasingly affordable. You can save money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on when the grid goes down. Not sure if you were with us yesterday, but we had a nice article in San Antonio Express News that 50-50 chance the grid could go down this winter. You want to call Stevens because they have a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So look, for roofing or for solar, the company to call is the one that you have trusted for decades. That is Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Hey, Manny Jr. here with Rock's Discount Vitamins. This holiday season, don't let those extra pounds sneak up on you. We have the largest selection of weight control products to help you stay on track. Boost your metabolism with our non-stimulant fat burners, or try Cuts, which helps your carbs work for you, not against you. With 12 locations across San Antonio, Rock's Discount Vitamins has everything you need to keep your diet in check this holiday season. Find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. Changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Pennzoil Platinum can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $35.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Before you fire up that grill, get into Tri-County Meat Market, because that great meal starts with great meat. Locally owned and full service, Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. steaks, beef ribs, pork ribs, their seasoned fajitas, chicken, poppers. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect. You can always take advantage of their Pick 5 special, and they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com.
Guys, it's finally here. Wendy's new salted caramel frosty. It's cold, salted, yet perfectly sweet, delicious, and it's at the top of Santa's Christmas list. What? Santa has a list too, you know. And he's a huge salted caramel frosty fan. Probably why he's so jolly all the time. The iconic frosty with a salted caramel twist? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Salted caramel frosty flavored with other natural flavors.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one?
We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Reinagel out today. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle with me. Jason Minnix live out at the Tri-County Meat Market, Huebner Road location. Demo day. There's a big old smoker in the parking lot. There's some brisket, some burn-ins, some fajitas, some tomahawk ribeyes. There's all kinds of meat, sausage, all kinds of stuff. Just come and grab some. It's all
Follow
free.
your nose. It is a perfect night to have grilling out in a parking lot. Man, the food's good. Lots of people stopping by. It's not a drive-through. You got to park.
Yeah, well,
just pull up. They're not going to throw this fine meat in your window.
Although we have seen people with to-go, and there's some cold beer, so it's almost like being at a good tailgate.
It feels very tailgate-ish. It really does. It's worth a stop by, and you leave with lovely parting gifts.
Yes.
Good meat, and I recommend coming in and putting some on the grill for tomorrow. Lots of good football to be watching.
Well, that's it. You think about this, get some samples, because I have a feeling if you stand around long enough, this is dinner. You depending on your own desires here.
There's a couple guys here who've had a full meal.
Yeah. They don't have plans with the wife.
Yeah,
later
we see you switching vests.
Yeah.
I see you reversing your jacket. We know who you are.
Exactly. That's the way it goes. Speaking of dinner, we've got a $50 gift card to give away to the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill over off of Calabria Road. If you want it, be caller number 9 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9, you'll win that $50 gift card. Now, there is the interesting part about the Cowboys playing on Monday night is playing on Thanksgiving, and then you get that long weekend. A lot of guys that have been hurt likely to play Monday. Obviously, Zack Martin is done for the year. But getting Jake Ferguson back, he's missed 2 games because of a concussion. And, when you think about the number of concussions, and most guys don't really talk about what they go through, but you hear Jake Ferguson today talking about what he went through. The fact that he's playing on Monday night after missing only 2 weeks is kind of incredible, because you don't hear many guys be this open about what they went through.
Yeah, I mean, first 2 days were bad. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't find my water bottle. I started crying. And I hadn't cried like that since, like, my dog died in middle school or something like that. And I stopped, and I was like, what the heck is wrong with me? And I came in here, and they were like, oh, yeah, that'll happen. And then that, like, meeting with doctors, talking to them, they're like, your brain it's not healthy right now. It's doing everything it can to, get back right. It's emotions. It's all this stuff. And that's where I was like, okay, I really need to take this serious and really trust our guys here and trust what the people are telling me, trust the doctors. And then, coming out there today, I got hit by Damone today, and I go, all right, we're good. You know what I mean? So back to it.
Yeah.
After we watched what Tua's gone through the last couple of years, and this one, when he had it rocked again, we saw Trevor go down. He'll miss the rest of the year. The injury that'll keep him out will be something different, but we know the concussion would have kept him out for a week or two no matter what. I feel I'm so conflicted on this because I've had the opportunity to meet Dat Wynn, and I know that he was part of that Harvard study and all these professional athletes that are being studied post-playing days to see how their brains are holding up post-play. And NFL has done some. I'm sure everybody could have done more. But how much we just heard Jake Ferguson say 2 weeks ago his brain was so injured that he woke up in the middle of the night and wept like a child because he couldn't find his water bottle.
Yep.
And we are worried about, as a fan of football, you want them to be gladiators. And, that the other part of what the cost of being a gladiator will be paid later when you're done, whether it's suicide or early death. Hey, you'll pay that price later, but you'll be a millionaire and a gladiator now. We try to legislate health for them. We're trying to say, don't play, for the love of God, Tua. You got $40 million in the bank. Why are you coming back? And here he comes. I mean, what I hear from Jake Ferguson is this stance. I want to be mad at the NFL for not doing enough, but the fact of the matter is you can't. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to keep these players away from the game that they want to play.
Every one of those guys that we see Super Bowl Radio Row that are dealing with stuff, every one of them says, I would do it all over again, knowing what they're going through. You bring up Dat Wynn, and he has told story after story about his best game. He remembers none of it. And Dat tells this story and has told this story many times on this program and, during different speeches. But it was a game against Pittsburgh, and he got a concussion very early in the game, but he stayed in the game. And when the coaches grade the film, which is very different than the way we all think, it was the highest graded game that he's ever had. Yet he does not remember a single play from that game. And he'll tells the story. They get back to Dallas, and they call Becky and say, hey, you need to come get him. Don't let him go to sleep tonight. Keep him up all night, and then bring him back here the next day. And he missed no time. Most guys wouldn't be this honest about what Jake Ferguson just said. But when you see some guys with those Guardian caps with the logos painted on, and we kind of make fun of them because they look silly, you hear that, you can't make fun of that guy. And it won't be long before the NFL goes to that.
But we can only go to safety for so far. And I think we reach a point where we can only make you so safe. And after that, it's your call. And as much as I didn't want to ever see Tua play again, here he comes. And I hear Jake Ferguson talking about that. And you go, we kind of, most people, if you were doing something that caused you to do that, you'd probably not want to do that again. You probably would never want to be in a situation where you got hit so hard that you woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't find your water bottle and wept like a child. I would try to avoid that, but yet, as soon as he can, he's back at it. And I want to go, my God, do you know what you just said? Do you realize what you just told me? And yet you're putting on that helmet and go, well, Damone hit me and I'm all right.
Well, I mean, you say that, you think about any athlete.
I'm not mad at him, but I do we have to understand the drive that it takes to be the gladiators that they are.
And again, we're talking about a brain injury. And so when it's a no-see-em, and unlike, all right, dude, turned an ankle, broken ankle, tore his knee, has to go through all that rehab and the risk of walking funny in old age. You were a Division I college basketball player at Texas Tech. When are you getting your new knees?
At some point, it's coming. Yeah, but that's so much different. I mean, I was never afraid of drinking the rest of my meals through a straw. I never was afraid of not knowing who I was because my knee was sore. This is a guy who just said, 2 weeks ago, my brain was so scrambled, and yet I'm so glad I'm healthy enough to go play today. And you go, do you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
And once you kind of separate yourself from, oh, well, gladiators are going to gladiate, and we can only take this so far. Let's make this helmet as safe as possible. Let's put a pillow on top of it, but let's go play some football because these guys aren't going to stop.
They're not going to stop. And I think, I mean, the brain injuries are there, but you look at backs and knees and, you know, I mean, yeah, drinking through a straw and your brain's mush. You know, if you're that guy, is that any worse than, man, it hurts to get up and walk across the room and I can't do anything. I mean, there's so many different ways to where you could have debilitating injuries for the rest of your life from playing the game. But the brain, because you can't see it, and I don't know how you rehab it, but, you know, it's crazy that the brain can heal itself. The fact that 2 weeks ago your brain's not healthy, let it heal, you're going to be fine, and now you're clear to play.
And in this same vein, did you find it utterly disingenuous for Tom Brady to come out on the side of the defensive player on a sliding quarterback, who for the last 3 years of his career, if you sneezed in his direction, he was down. And if you coughed at him, it was roughing the passer. You know, for him to go, you know what, you know, quarterbacks are getting away with too much. Like, what? Yeah. Now, I agree with some of what you're saying, but you're probably not the guy to say it.
Well, and again, you know, the fact that Jon Runyan, whose nickname was Dirty John, is the one handing out the punishment and the 3-game suspension.
He knows of what he speaks.
Well, I mean, there is that. And like I told Indy Kalu on Tuesday, you don't have to be a dirty player to make a dirty play. And I think that's what we saw from Azeez with Houston. That was a dirty play. No matter, you know, I mean, the people that defend him, that to me, that was a dirty play. But that doesn't mean he's a dirty player, although there are plenty of clips out there that you could make that argument as well. You know, it's kind of like when Bruce Bowen was the Spurs. He wasn't dirty. He was crafty. You know, when he was your guy, you come up with a different term for it. If he plays for the other team, he's dirty.
But the idea that after we hear Ferguson, again, I can't get past all that, and we saw Trevor go crickets, we know how bad that was. And Tom Brady, of all people, said, well, you know, some of these quarterbacks fake the slide.
Well, they do. and I think because of that, we will see a tweak to the rules.
And rightfully so. I do, but I don't know where that line is, and we're going to have a problem when we hit it again. But of all the people to be upset with the fact that a quarterback got plugged on a dirty play, Tom, I appreciate your attitude, but you're not the guy to talk about it.
That's the owner and Tom Brady speaking, not the quarterback.
Some of that. Those
Tom
quarterbacks
speaking.
You know, we're overpaying those guys. We should be able to take the head off of those guys now that I'm retired.
I mean, they are football players.
Now that I'm retired, hit them.
Yeah, they are football players. How many rules were designed because of Tom Brady?
Exactly.
I mean,
those defensive players, they don't just get a fair shake. Unless, of course, I was playing, and if you looked at me funny, it was a flag.
And let's deflate some footballs to make those even better. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
There's so much going on with the whole Patriot thing. When you heard that Belichick was interviewing at North Carolina, what was your first response?
I can't really say that on air. Two things with that. One, he knows he's not getting another NFL job, and he just wants to coach. And if he just wants to coach, if he can't be in the NFL, can he go to the college ranks? And the way college is now, with general managers and money transactions, and you're not trying to build relationships with recruiting because it's all about the money, then I think Bill Belichick will be fine. If Bill Belichick had to go sit in kids' living rooms and make promises to moms, that's not what he's going to do. But if he just wants to coach, he's there.
He's not doing it for the chicks?
Well, I mean, he could be looking to get his girlfriend a college education for free or find a new girlfriend. One of the two.
You never know.
Maybe all of the above.
But honestly, when I heard that, I thought, that's crazy. But I think he wants to coach in the league, and he wants everybody to know he's willing to interview.
Well, and this helps hone his interview skills because it's been a while since he's had to do an interview because the only one he's had in the last 20 years, he must not have been overly impressive because Atlanta did not choose him. But also there was a report today from ESPN, I think it was Graziano's report, that Belichick wants to coach and has backed off his demand for total control of the roster because ain't nobody in hell going to hire him as a general manager. So, and that was one of the issues in Atlanta. Maybe if he's just coaching and not trying to coach and GM. But he does need to hone his interview skills, and he was able to do that. Now, I don't know what relationship is out there where he would go interview over at North Carolina, because the job at North Carolina doesn't help him break Don Shula's record.
No, that no one wants to just be a coach that bad. I just, when I heard that, I thought, well, I don't believe that story. If he's desperate to be a coach, there's other places to go. But on the other side of that coin, there's nobody who knows more football than Bill Belichick. And what made him a great coach is he's a teacher. It's just all the other stuff that has made college coaching so different than it was even 3 years ago that I couldn't imagine him even wanting to do.
It's interesting. Come see us here at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. There's still smoke rolling on that grill with plenty of meat for you to sample. We're here until 6 o'clock tonight. Huebner and Lock Hill, Selma, the Tri-County Meat Market location. Let's talk about that incredible Lions-Packers game last night and the rest of the NFL schedule coming up this weekend. We'll do that next here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, you see I'm wearing a jacket with the 94.1 logo on it. Got that logo put on this jacket over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need your logo on any kind of winter gear because today winter officially arrived in San Antonio, and Sam has all his winter gear on display right now. So if you need jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips with your logo on it, beanies, go see Sam. He'll get you taken care of. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, and Sam has the best prices. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands: North Face, Under Armour, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. No order too big, no order too small. All items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Busy weekend done. Conference champions named. The playoffs are ready.
And it's Simpsons night. Cowboys, Bengals in the Simpsons broadcast. This is the game of the year. It's got to be. We'll talk about it and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minnix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-319-3687. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing.
If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out, from small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders. I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal, including a 4-wheel drive tractor with hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. From the Ewald family to yours, Merry Christmas.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm a little bit off the wall. ADHD for me.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel on vacation. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle hanging out with me, Jason Minnix on the Blitz. Long time. What do we do? Blitz together for about 5 years, 4 years, something like that?
More than that. At least 5. More than that. Yeah, it was 5 or 6. We made it to 22, right? That'd be 6.
Was it
21 or 22?
21?
21 and a half.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's 5 and a half.
I mean,
years.
when Reinagel started, we started at my kitchen table, so it was the tail end of working from home times.
So that's 21, 22.
Been a long time. A lot of people commenting, having us back together.
Yeah, man.
Little reunion show.
It wasn't hard to bring me back, but once you included the additional fine meats, grilled and seared fine meats, it was hard to say no.
Like, hey, Joe's taking off a Friday. We're going to be at Tri-County. Okay.
Well, the thing is, you asked me so long ago, I had completely forgotten. And then yesterday, I'm doing the morning show, and I'm looking at we get this form every morning. We call it the promo suite.
Yeah.
And it has everything we're supposed to talk about during the show, like our giveaway tickets and where we're going to be and the shows that are coming up on the station. We're supposed to talk about it at every break. And I get to the break, and I'm and make sure you join join Jason and Rob Thompson at the Tri-County Meat Market tomorrow. What? Yeah, I had it completely slipped my mind, but I remembered exactly why I said yes, and I was exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. That's that's it. But it's fun having you back. People on YouTube want to hear you say,
"It's the Blitz."
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That has traveled the country.
It really has.
It has.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And, it's fun because, we've worked together and been friends for so long.
20 years.
And you get to come out and sit and freeze your ass off at Tri-County Meat Market sampling food. And Greg Shelton's reminding us of space heaters that we used to have years ago that, we did at a football game. And he is saying that I did not share the heater.
Well, I've been around you long enough to know that's absolutely truthful. Without any hesitation, I know that's the case.
I don't know how you hog a heater. I mean, it's there. He sat farthest away from the heater. because I made sure it was right by my feet.
His description of how you use the heater was the most appropriate that you could use, and we can't say it on air, but it was truly a monkey.
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, again, it was
cold
right at my feet.
Yeah,
because that game was 9 degrees.
It was cold.
It was, yes. It was good football weather, and we got good tailgate weather. There's cold beer. There's hot barbecue. There's brisket. There's burn ends. There's some tomahawk steaks.
There might be some tomahawk left.
There's some sausage. There's some fajitas, and it's all free for you to come and sample. And this isn't like you get a little nothing sample and go. You're going to be full if you choose to be. You can eat as much as you want.
Yeah, it's like a tailgate going on.
Yes.
Everybody hanging out. Got lawn chairs out in the parking lot. Good music, good food, good radio. Come on by.
That's it. And you think about the good football that we're going to have this weekend, or are we? I mean, we coming into the weekend, the best game on paper was Detroit Green Bay, and that was the game that we got last night. Thursday night football, and it lived up to all the hype. That was one hell of a football game.
We had a good debate yesterday regarding the quarterbacks. Certainly Goff is, the long history, and he's in a really great place right now. And Love didn't have numbers last night. And I saw a segment this morning as we were on air. How do you evaluate Jordan Love's performance last night? What was your takeaway from Green Bay and what they did in a losing effort?
Well, first half, they were awful. Second half, Jordan Love got it together and played good football. And you look at, the fact that they had, 24 points in the second half. He did everything he needed for his team to win last night. Granted, he was 12 of 20 for 206 yards.
So there's not a lot of production, though. I thought he looked as good in the second half as he has ever looked.
I'm trying to find his first half numbers. Give me a second, because in the first half he was just 3 of 7.
Right, it was not
for 31 yards, but they ran the ball well. And but again, he had his team without big numbers because he did make some big plays with his legs. And the idea that his team was in position to go on the road and get an upset, and Detroit said, hold my beer, and they drove down. And the ballsiest of ballsy calls by a head coach. And that's Dan Campbell. Everybody knew Dan Campbell was going to go for it there. Analytics said no. His gut said yes. And then you had the bizarre play where Goff got stepped on and fell. If it was college football, his knee was down. And you realize there's a lot of football dumb people out there because they thought he was down. And Twitter will expose you.
If he was in college.
Yeah, if he was in college or if he took a knee intentionally. But, you can fall down and get up in the NFL. But the fact that he made the handoff, could you imagine if he falls down and it's turnover on downs, they lose in overtime? Or they fumble the ball and Green Bay is able to return it for a touchdown or gets in the field goal range. And quite frankly, I think that decision was Dan Campbell not trusting his defense in the second half.
Well, we don't talk about that. We don't bring up that fact. No, he did not trust the fact that they were going to be able to stop Green Bay. That's why he went for it. I had a feeling it was my defense has not stopped Green Bay in 2 quarters, and they're not going to stop them now.
And you wonder, is incredible of a year Detroit has had, will they, coming down this stretch run with all those injuries on defense, with a move like last night, which just tells me you don't trust your defense, you wonder, they got a tough game next week.
They do.
You get into some of these tight playoff games where the defense is going to have to make some plays. Will they be able to get that done?
I think right now this is a team that has been ordained by God that they're going to win it. And I think that I appreciate a man that knows he's in the middle of a heater. Yeah. We've all played craps, and about 2 a.m. you got a dude that's throwing the dice. He knows he's hot.
Yep.
He knows it. Everybody else around him knows it. Let's ride that wave together. And right now, Dan Campbell knows no matter what I do, as long as I put these guys in the right place, they're going to win, and I'm going to ride this wave. But I do believe going for it on 4th down 4 out of 5 times, that is stupid. And if you continue to do it, it's going to bite them in the ass. And it'll be the worst way to lose when you inflict it upon yourself. So you have to really be very mindful of how you do this, because teams that play like this end up going down dramatically. But I think he knows I'm in the middle of a heater. I'm going to ride it until it's done. I just hope he knows when it's done, because that could have ended in a way. You think Eberflus's end of the game situation was bad? Fumble away a game like that.
Well, and again, now granted, if they don't pick it up, they know they're going to overtime.
Well,
but I mean,
your quarterback stumbles out of center. I mean, that's touched by God.
It's crazy. In his post-game speech, when he walks into the locker room, one of the reasons why you love Dan Campbell.
I told you you'd never forget this game. You will never forget this game. We don't have to talk about how tough we are. We don't have to talk about how resilient we are. We live it, man. We've been living it. Where's our defense at? Offense, that's the way to step up, man. That's the way to step up. There you go, Skip. Keep throwing up, whatever you're doing over there. That's the way to freaking lay it on the line. Guys, I'm so freaking proud of you, man. That's the way to show up. You talk about pressure, we live in pressure. That's where we freaking thrive. You did it again. We did it again. All right? It doesn't matter who's playing for us. It doesn't matter what's going on. You always find a way to win. That's what champions do. This is not happenstance, man. This doesn't just happen. This has been in the making, man. This has been in the making. All right? We are all supposed to be here together, man. We're destined for this. Just stay the course. That's 12, and that's 4 in the division. All right, I got 2 game balls. First one here, 6 reception. I can't read this first one. I'm going to say 43 yards, 2 tugs. His first one since 2021. Can't catch it.
Yeah, Tim Patrick got picked up by every fantasy league last night.
Thank you for embracing me. It's been a hell of a ride the past 2 years, and I wouldn't want to go on this ride with anybody else but y'all. Appreciate y'all boys.
And then it gives a game ball to the kicker. That's enough pledge. But you look at it, and again, I mean,
he's feeling it.
Well, and again, how big was that game? I mean, Dan Skipper's throwing up in a trash can over there while he's giving the speech, and the camera guy goes and shows it when he calls him out.
The wherewithal to go with it on 4th down, I was utterly just. I've never seen a coach feel so obvious we're about to win this football game. That there was really no hesitation. And then to watch your quarterback stumble out from behind the center, that is one of those things that, and you go, what would have happened if that was the Cowboys? If that was the Dallas Cowboys, it's 4th down, they're driving in, and they either kick the field goal and hope for the best, or they're going to go for it and let's take this baby home. And we watched Dak stumble out underneath the center.
You know, we saw that last year, and I made the same comments. Mike McCarthy late, I want to say it was the Seattle game. They ended up winning that game. And they had that long throw down the left sideline, I think to Cooks. And, they were able to win that game. And Mike McCarthy went it for it in a touchy 4th down situation. And my thought then was, that defense was bad against Seattle. He didn't trust them, so put it in the offense's hands. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes your defense isn't there. But to go for it in that situation, when you have a chip shot field goal, and, all the different things that could have gone wrong. Now, granted, they weren't going to lose the game on that decision, but that could have cost them from winning it ultimately.
The best team in the NFC, or is it Philly?
Philly.
Is it Philly's defense is a separator, or is it?
I like Detroit right now, but I think their injuries are going to catch up to them. Philly is just playing at a different level. They collapsed last year, and I want to be like Dan Skipper and throw up in a trash can saying nice things about Philly. But you just look at the way they're playing on both sides of the ball. And the addition of Saquon is just been a difference maker. The way Jalen Hurts is playing right now, the fact that Jason Kelsey leaves and they can still run the tush push, which is pretty incredible. But I think it is between those two teams. So I'm going to ride Detroit because I don't want to go to New Orleans and talk about Philly again.
It's going to be a long weekend if we have to. But the fact is, I think Detroit feels like they are destined. You can hear them talking about it. We have the fortune of pressure and all that. But Philly's been there. They've been there, and they know exactly what it's going to take to win it. And Detroit, They don't.
Yeah, well, see, I disagree. They do, because they were the team of destiny last year, and they had a big lead in the NFC Championship against San Francisco, and they blew it. Can they learn from that?
Do you think that was enough? I hope so.
Can they learn from that and get back? Because sometimes you lose those games and you don't get back. You don't lose a Super Bowl and get back the next year and win it because the hangover is there. I don't know if that applies to an NFC Championship game, but I do think last year they felt like a team of destiny. They got close. They had that lead against San Francisco, and they blew it. And this year they're playing like they learned from that. And I think it's now, granted, Dan Campbell made some questionable decisions in blowing that game last year. And he still has the stones to make those decisions because that's his coaching style. And you know what you got with him. It's like Brett Favre as a quarterback, as a gunslinger. There's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad, but this is the way he is, and he's not changing who he is.
Detroit has what? They have Kansas City next week? They got a big one coming up. Another measuring stick kind of game. And the problem with that Detroit's running into that some of these AFC teams are, Detroit can't take their foot off the gas. They need home field, and they're still fighting with Green Bay and Minnesota to hold on to it. So we're going to see Detroit playing hard all the way through, where Buffalo, they're in pretty good shape already.
Well, Detroit gets Buffalo next week in Detroit.
A measuring stick game there.
At Chicago, at San Francisco, and they close against Minnesota. I mean,
they can't take their foot off the gas. They're going to have to finish strong.
Especially with Philadelphia right there if you want to get that one seed. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, live out at Tri-County Meat Market's Huebner Road location. We're here for another hour until 6 o'clock. Come hang out with us. Lots and lots and lots of free samples off that smoker that's sitting right in front of us here. Come see us at Tri-County Meat Market. Now, you think about it being a Friday, you have your weekend plans. None of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. Happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. And if you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding 281 with the Floresville and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it in your phone. 800-717-2322. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-717-2322. That's 800-717-2322. 800-717-2322.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
No Wimby, no Winnie. The San Antonio Spurs fell 139-124 to the Chicago Bulls last night. Oh, they'll get back at it again. They're going to go back-to-back, welcoming in the Kings to the Frost Center, 7 o'clock for your tip. It's conference title weekend, and it'll get going live right here, the AAC championship game. Army-Tulane right here at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix, hanging out with Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle. Since Reinegel's off today, we're live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. We're here for about another hour, although 6 o'clock we get to have a beer in the parking lot.
Yes, sir.
Eat more meat. There's plenty of meat for you guys. You want to sample some. There's brisket, there's burnt ends, there's sausage, there's fajitas, there's steak. And that's just outside the parking lot that's already cooked. Then you can go inside and get what you need for your own grill.
For the grilling tomorrow.
In this weekend. Or, get your pre-orders in for the big Christmas specials. You need those fine special cuts for Christmas. Do that.
And by the way, if you haven't come by and seen the boxes, the gift boxes that they've got put together, these curated gift boxes, if you've got clients that have done good by you, you want to treat them right. I'm just saying, put together a fine box of meat that they've got put together. I could give you the names I like, but if they've got a dry sausage box, they got a wet box, they got some steaks, they got different mixes for anybody that's chasing. It's a great idea. It really is.
All those great. See, again, you're right for clients. Or for your favorite radio guys. I mean, whatever you need. Yeah, a box of meat's always a great gift.
I've always said that.
I mean, it's better than socks.
Yeah, by far. By far. Although right now,
what?
Some thick wool socks might be a nice gift. I was told that while it is the first day of winter, as been demonstrated by Greg's long pants, that it wouldn't be this cold.
What?
It's cold. It's 49.
Oh, it's dropped.
Below 50 is officially cold.
Yeah, it feels much colder than that. But, I mean, it's like football weather. It's tailgating weather.
Yes, it is.
Or, you're at the deer lease and you got, guys with lawn chairs and a cooler of beer and, meat on a grill.
All doing the boomhauer.
Yeah.
Keeping it close to chest. Mm-hmm.
And you think about, we got college football on tonight. We got a game coming up here. I mean, Tulane and Army and all these conference championship games. You got UNLV and Boise State. Then on Saturday, Iowa State, Arizona State in the Big 12 game, Texas, Georgia in the SEC game, the Big 10, Oregon, Penn State matchup, and then you got Clemson and SMU. Outside of Texas, Georgia, any of those games you go, man,
No, and this is the fear. It's funny the situation that athletic directors have found themselves because, as they expanded the football pie with the playoff, everybody's making more money. But previous to the playoff, the real moneymaker was the conference championship game that was nationally televised that the TV stations, the networks bought for all this money. And now conference championships are really just another game. And a game that a lot of coaches don't even want to play. Of all the teams that are playing this weekend, only 2 or 3 coaches are genuinely happy they're here. The others already know they're going, and the last thing they want to do is give away game plan, waste man minutes, and worry about injury. And we've taken the conference title game and just chucked it out the window. This is just another weekend. It's like the 68, 72 teams, those 4 teams that play on Tuesday night before the tournament. That's what this weekend has turned into.
Although for some, there's a lot riding for some.
Well, there's a couple
right?
that you have to have it, but it really, for the most part.
Your point, the get-in price for most of these games are next to nothing. There was a story yesterday. I think for the Big 10 game, you can get in for $12
because all those guys are playing again,
or because you're playing again, and if you want to follow your team through the playoffs, am I going to travel to that one when I could be traveling to this one? And the idea, some of the matchups, say. Although this current rankings took this out, but a couple weeks ago, Arizona State could play Ohio State in the first round. Dude, go to Columbus and see that, right? If you're an Arizona State type and you're going to travel, or you're going to go to Dallas, and then where are you going to go from there? So I do think that's factored in. Now, my kid goes to Arizona State. Sun Devils, my Big 12 team. I'm interested in that game. Oregon, Penn State,
it's a seeding game, and they're not going to get the full. Do you think either one of these teams has dedicated every waking moment to the opponent? No.
I think coaches are coaches, and there are some plays like in every game that you haven't seen yet, but they've got to keep stuff back for the playoffs. For those that know, like Arizona State, Iowa State, that is a game to get into the playoffs.
It is.
So that's a game where I think you see everything.
And Clemson, SMU, I do think Clemson is do or die. That's it. If they don't win, they don't go. And only if you don't win the Big 12 title game, you ain't going. So those teams, there's some merit. And, the game tonight, if Tulane could have won last week, it would have been that for them. I think they would have been a win-and-in kind of situation. But no, so that conference title is just the title. And let's just say Texas wins the SEC championship, but loses the first game of the playoff. Do you think initially Texas will look back on this season as a success? No, they're going to look at it as an absolute failure. Now, as we get further away, they'll go, well, we did win the SEC title the first year we were there, and they'll talk about it. But we have lessened the value of a conference title to the point where this weekend is interesting, but we're having to manufacture the interest.
Well, and I agree with that. I mean, there is something, as a Longhorn fan, we've made it to the SEC championship game. The problem for Texas and with this big playoff, or whoever was going to win the SEC championship, that doesn't mean as much.
No.
And the gauntlet of having to play multiple playoff games to go win a national championship, you're right. I mean, but I can't imagine, running over to Academy to get an SEC championship T-shirt on Saturday night or on Sunday morning.
But they'll be sold eventually.
Yeah.
You'll look back. But
they're going to be for sale, but it doesn't have it's kind of like last year winning the Big 12. All right, cool. Because the playoffs were there and Texas didn't do well in the playoffs. They didn't go play for a national championship. And all right, yeah, we won the Big 12, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
unfortunate that the ring's the thing, and you want to be conference champion, and that's something I think you look back on after your years of being at the school. But the fans, you ask a fan who won the Big 12 title 4 years ago, and who, what, why? Yeah. I don't know, because it doesn't matter, and we've lessened the value even more starting this weekend.
Yeah. It's
an unfortunate byproduct that I can't believe athletic directors got suckered into, because all they've ever talked about was the value of the conference title. That's the first goal of others, but it should be the first, and it's not.
And the value of the conference title now, if you're in the big ones, is you should have a first-round bye, which is why I think is the Big 12 commissioner is so pissed off, because of where the rankings are. They wouldn't even get that.
No, they wouldn't. He's trying to put lipstick on a pig on what was been a terrible season for the Big 12.
It's going to be interesting. Now, Big 12 title game, Arizona State, Iowa State tomorrow morning at AT&T Stadium. Then they'll change things out Monday night. Cowboys and Bengals. We'll talk about it with our friend Jon Machota from The Athletic. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. Spurs play tonight. Got all the college football as well. The NFL on Sunday. You want to win some money, having fun watching those games, make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app and play the Pick'em game. Be like me and over 5 million other happy players that have won collectively, not individually, over $2 billion. Had I won $2 billion, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. But I got a little bit of that, and look to continue to build a pick'em entry and watch it turn green, because that means you have won some money, and it's fun to play, and you're putting your skill, your fantasy knowledge to the test, and you can mix and match between college football and NBA, NFL, and college football to build your entries. And this season, Underdog is running a special, a promo, or a bonus just about every day, like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win. Free picks, basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So go download the Underdog Fantasy app. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare and you want out, you need to get the facts. Wesley Financial Group and its founder, Chuck McDowell, have helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshares permanently, and he may be able to help you too. Call right now. Chuck will send you a timeshare exit information guide free, explaining how your timeshare works and all your options for cancellation. You want to call Wesley Financial Group, 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Once again, 800-761-0000.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. You want to sample some great meats, come on by. It's a brisket, burnt ends, fajitas, steak, sausage.
I wish my end was burnt.
All on the grill. Yeah, well, it's a tailgate party. It's football season weather. It's getting you ready for the tailgating. Reinagel's out today. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle filling in. I'm Jason Minnix. Cowboys, Bengals on Monday night. Let's talk about it. Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And John, you look at this game and the way the Cowboys have been playing. They've won a couple in a row. They keep saying they've got a chance. Is this the game? If they win it, they really do have a chance. If they don't, it's all but kind of done. Has that kind of been the attitude around the Star this week?
Yeah, I don't think that anybody on the team feels like it's done if they lose this game, but I would say most of us that evaluate the team would say, yeah, it's probably done. But the flip side of it, too, is, though, even if they win this game, I don't think that really means that they're for sure like, oh, let's consider this a real playoff contender. They still have a long way to go from that, but I think that you absolutely have to win Monday night to even keep those hopes alive. And let's be honest, that's not a great Bengals defense, but that is a great Bengals offense in terms of scoring points. And so they're going to have their hands full there. And then the other part for me is just let's not act like they played great on Thanksgiving. They just happen to play a bad Giants team. And so we don't know that they have completely exercised the demons of at home. We'll find out a lot more with this game.
John, is the Rico Dowdle running performance, is that repeatable, or was that a product of just a bad Giants team? Because I do see that Bengal defense as available to be run against. Is that something that the Cowboys feel like they can repeat again?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, well, I don't know if they'll be able to repeat it. I think they can have success doing that, and I do think that will be their game plan. They will not be trying to, be making big plays down the field. They're going to try and have long drives to keep Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins on the sideline. And so they want to have these long, sustained drives that run clock. And obviously you do that with an outstanding running game. But I do think the Bengals are going to give them a bigger challenge than you saw from the Giants. The Giants are a perfect team to play on Thanksgiving. They're arguably the worst team in the NFL. So, hey, you got Rico finally over the hump. He got a 100-yard game, had a touchdown. Obviously, doing that without Zack Martin gave some confidence into their process of having Brock Hoffman in there. So there's positive things to build off of. But now let's see it against the team. Let's be honest. The Bengals are better than what their record is. I don't know if you can say that about the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are about what their record is.
Well, that's true. And you look at the Bengals, and Joe Burrow gets player of the month in the AFC for the offensive side, and I don't know that they won. And I just don't know. I look at this, and, I know, Mike McCarthy has to say all the right things. And if you're playing, I get it. Players feel like they've got a chance if mathematically they do. But, the Cowboys like to kick field goals, and the Bengals like to score touchdowns. And you just can't win that way if you're the Cowboys.
No, you're going to have to score a decent amount of points to beat this Bengals team. And for them to do this, I really feel like you're going to have some type of, let's be honest, the Marvion Overshown big play like you saw last game, where it's like the defense making a big play that flips the field or gets them some easy points. I mean, you really look at their last two wins, and there's been just a gigantic play in each one of these wins. For the Washington game, it was the big kick return for Devontae Turpin late. And then in this one against the Giants, I mean, if you take yourself back to the play right before the Marvion Overshown tips that ball to himself and pick sixes that ball, like, it's not like you feel great about, oh, no, the Cowboys will win this game. Like, that flipped everything. And so I still think that this, where this roster is at, where this team is at, for them to have a chance to beat the Bengals, you're going to have to see somebody else come up with a big play. Maybe it's Micah Parsons, Maybe it's the Marvion Overshown again. Maybe it's CD Lamb. I don't know, but they're not going to I find it hard to believe they're just going to go out there, play good, solid football, and walk away with a win like I think they could have in previous years.
Interesting as we sit, as the couple of wins have been stacked, there's been a recent kind of chorus of let's praise Mike McCarthy, from his players to even his owner. What's the attitude about McCarthy now around the building? It seems like everybody's not taking away a little bit of blame from him and placing it other places. What's his percentage of chances of being here next year?
I would still say it's less than 50%, even with all that stuff, just because there is a little bit of it where you're like, well, what else are the guys going to say? What else is Jerry and Steven going to say right now? And so I just think that it's unlikely, but I don't think that you can completely close the door on it. And the reason I say that is because whoever you look to be that next guy, if you're moving on from Mike McCarthy, you could have had that guy after the Packers game. And whether it's Vrabel, Belichick, whoever. And they didn't jump at that chance. So I don't know that, Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, I don't know that there is anybody out there that they're absolutely blown away with. And so that is what kind of keeps it from me saying, oh, it's 100%. They're just moving in another direction. This is who it's going to be. And then they're just going to move on. Like, you do have to keep the window cracked a little bit. And here's another part of it. Where Jerry Jones is at in his life, like, I don't know that he really wants to just do a complete shakeup. And I think that factored into why he, ultimately got that contract done with Dak Prescott right before the season opener, hours before the season opener, because he looked at the big picture of just how crazy this offseason could be without your head coach, without your franchise quarterback. And I just don't think Jerry wants to go through some real major significant changes. And if it's not your quarterback changing, the big change you can make is that head coach. And so I do think there's a comfortability that Jerry has with Mike. And so that's why you can't 100% say that they're just going to, hey, as soon as the season's over, they're going to get rid of Mike. They're hiring a new head coach. Like, you can't definitively say that. But, I mean, if you're betting and you're doing percentages, I think that it has to lean in that favor that there will be a new head coach next year.
Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us here on The Blitz. Now, staying with that, I think one of the things that might be in Mike McCarthy's favor as a return would be there could be 6, 8, 10 openings, and whoever is on Jerry's short list is probably on everybody else's short list. Are you going to get the guy that you want, that you think is better than Mike McCarthy? But also I wonder, how much will Dak Prescott's input be taken into consideration with this decision, based on the way Dak really seemed to go to bat for him this week with that interview with Jory Epstein? He could have answered that in a lot of different ways and still sounded positive. But as detailed as Dak was in those answers, how much will Jerry listen to that if Dak is that convicted behind closed doors in a meeting?
Oh, I think it'll be a factor. There's no question about that. But I will say that I do think there's a part of Jerry that looks at it as Dak was on the field and they could have won more, and that would have been a bigger sales piece for Mike McCarthy than just Dak saying that. And so Dak will have a factor. He has to. He gets $60 million a year for the next 4 seasons. He's a major part of what they're doing here. But I don't think it'll be one of those things where it's like, well, what does Dak want? Let's just give him what he wants. Let's keep him happy. I don't think of it like that at all. I think it'll ultimately come down to what Jerry, Steven, and whoever else is in that small group that Jerry listens to. He'll factor in what the players are saying. He'll factor in what Dak Prescott is saying, no doubt. But I don't think it'll be something where it's like, well, Dak wants him back. We got to give him at least another year or two. I don't think that Jerry will weigh it like that. Because to be honest with you, how many times Jerry's brought up the Green Bay loss? I don't think that if Jerry's mind is made up, that and he still keeps going back to that, and the fact that he hired Mike to have playoff success, and you didn't have that, I think that will be so big in Jerry's head that if he wants to move on, he's going to move on.
Very true. Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. Now, for the game on Monday against the Bengals, looks like the Cowboys could get some guys back, but let's talk about one that won't be, at least for the rest of this season and maybe career, Zack Martin. I know the word around the building, and Zack even said, I ain't ready to talk retirement, but man, it certainly feels like we've seen the last of Zack Martin in a Cowboys uniform.
Yeah, no, he didn't want to talk about it. But, I mean, that's what's on everybody's mind, because you got the feeling going in to this season that it could potentially be his last. And the play wasn't there, and obviously you find out now the ankle was a major contributor there. And so does Zack get this surgery and feel like, I don't want to go out like that? I need to have another full year. I don't want to retire on an injury like that. If that's the case, then yeah, maybe he does a team-friendly deal and plays one more year with the Cowboys. I personally think that's probably unlikely, but you could tell he didn't want to talk about it until he had the surgery done. He's able to kind of meet with some people probably close to him, and then also medical professionals to see, hey, what is my chances of still playing at a high level if I come back next season from this? And if the chances are that he can still play at a high level, then yeah, maybe there's a potential that he returns for another season. But I don't know that you can really bank on that right now. And I did find it interesting that Michael Parsons, when he's asked about it in the locker room after we talked to Zack, he made it really clear, like, I can't see Zack going to another team. He would retire before he goes to another team. And I see the exact same thing. I don't see him going and doing a year with, let's say, like the Jets, like Tyron did. If he can't play, I think he'll just retire, and he'll be in the Cowboys Ring of Honor, and he'll certainly be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But I feel like all the signs are pointing to that we've seen Zack Martin's last game, but he definitely did not want to say that. And Jerry Jones this morning definitely didn't want to say that.
Well, and the other part of that too is you said team-friendly deal. I kind of go back to, when Zeke went off to New England, Jerry didn't want to insult him and he still wanted to play. And you just wonder if the Cowboys would, in their front office, if they just moved on already, knowing that they've got to replace a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no, that's possible. And let's keep in mind just the topic we were talking about before. A lot of it comes down to the coach too. We don't know for sure who the coach is next year, and what direction that coach is going to want to go into. And I do think that this is an offensive line that if you are moving away from Zack, I do think that a guard or center, because you could potentially move Cooper Beebe to guard. If you don't want to do Brock Hoffman there, if you're moving on from Zack Martin, then I think you're investing probably a pretty high pick in your offensive line again. And so I think a lot of that has to do with who the coach is and what they want to do at that position as well. And again, like the medical staff too, if Zack is fully healed and the reason his plays dropped off is because of the ankle and they think he's back to the player he was a couple of years ago, then I can see where they'd be interested in that. But if it's not and it's headed to where it looks like it's headed, then it would just make sense that they move in another direction. And let's be clear here too. I mean, that's one of the reasons they drafted Cooper Beebe too, is because he can play center or guard.
John, back to the game on Monday night. We've heard for the last couple of weeks that there are packages involved with Trey Lance. Has he gotten any reps this week? Well, we might see him again? just out of curiosity.
I don't think it's any more than he's gotten in previous weeks, but yeah, it could potentially happen. I think it depends on the way the game goes. I don't know that it's definitively like, hey, on this series, we're bringing in the Lance package. I think it's the way the game goes, the way, the Bengals are playing defense. I know that they have those packages, but what they've liked enough from Cooper Rush with what he's been doing now that he's getting Brandon Cooks back and with CeeDee Lamb and some of those guys. I don't think that they put the value on what they would get out of that Lance package high enough to where they want to take Cooper Rush off the field. So that's the one thing there that I know people want to see it, but I don't feel that they think that it's this big game changer, because if they did, we would have seen one by now.
True.
Very true. And of course, it might be, as long as we got a chance, we don't have to play him. But once we don't have a chance, all right, well, let's see what we have in Trey Lance, because that's going to be one of the few things that fans are going to be interested in. And I think Jerry might wait, or Mike McCarthy might wait until we get to that point. Now, John, before we let you go, noted from the Detroit area, Lions guy, your thoughts when Dan Campbell decided to go for it last night on 4th and 1, sitting in your living room watching that game? Were your first thoughts before they actually ran the play and then during the play?
Love it. Absolutely love it. And the reason why I say that is because Dan Campbell comes off as, oh, look at this former player talking about biting off kneecaps. Oh, that's cute or whatever. No, Dan lives that. Dan lives that. And he was playing chess when most people watch those games and play checkers. He was playing off of, this is our 4th game in like 19 days. My defense is losing key players every other series, and we can't have this game go that much further. We need to win it right now. And also, he has an offensive coordinator he really trusts too. And this team is built on the offense and winning with the offense, particularly when they're at home or indoors. And so, obviously, when Goff trips, you can always say, like, well, yeah, that's why you shouldn't have done that. But that's the way that this team has been built, and this is the way the team has won. And I don't think that there's anybody that follows the team that thinks that that's just the worst call ever, because that's what's gotten the Lions to be where they're at. This isn't a team that's like, yeah, they've won 9 games, and it looks like they're going to – no, they're the best team in the NFL. They didn't just back into this like, yeah, they just do this wild stuff, and they just kind of get lucky in the end. No, that's not what they're doing. Like, clearly the system that he has built, the players completely have bought into it. And so that's why I had no issue with it, especially because of just how big that game was. That game changes everything for them. The tiebreakers with the rest of the NFC, they can lose the game now going forward. Like that beating the Packers was so huge for him. So, yeah, no, I had no issue with that. I did have an issue earlier in the game, though, when he went for it on, I think it was 3rd and 5. 4th and maybe it was 4th and 3 or something like that, 4th and 2 from their own like 26, 27. I didn't love that. I'm not a fan of that. Basically just you're giving the opponent a field goal right off the bat if you don't convert this. But late in the game like that, with that offense on the field playing at home, yeah, I had no issues at all. I love it.
My thought was he doesn't trust his defense right now, and at the worst we go to overtime. But I really don't trust my defense to kick it here and then have them not drive down and either get a touchdown and win it, or we're going to overtime anyway. We'll see. Make sure you're following Jon Machota on Twitter at Jon Machota, no H, Jon, and make sure you subscribe and read his great stuff at The Athletic. John, enjoy the football weekend.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys. Take it easy.
Appreciate it. Jon Machota from The Athletic on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Let's talk some Spurs. Coming up is we're still live, and you got time to come see us here at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. Lots of great meat on that grill. Sampling, cold beer in a cooler. Come hang out with us. Tri-County Meat Market on Huebner on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Busy weekend done. Conference champions named. The playoffs are ready.
And it's Simpsons night. Cowboys, Bengals in the Simpsons broadcast. This is the game of the year. It's got to be. We'll talk about it and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro-hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they don't just represent you. They fight for you. When life throws its toughest challenges, George and his team are there to get you the justice you deserve. And here's their promise. You don't pay unless they win your case. With a proven track record of success, they take every case personally. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is Game Night San Antonio on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Marcel, step back, 3.
Every game night, the Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game. Players, coaches, insiders. This is Game Night San Antonio.
Wembanyama!
And the pregame starts right now.
Spurs, Kings tonight. It is Game Night San Antonio here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle in for Rob Thompson today. I'm Jason Minnix live out at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location. And for the Spurs tonight, you can only hope that they get off to a better start than they've been getting off to, because that's been probably the biggest issue as of late.
Yeah, stumbling out, that's a tough one to get guys going. The last game, the Chicago game, was their worst game of the year for a lot of reasons. They've played worse, for sure. And, you can pin some stuff on Wemby's absence, but starting slow and getting slower is no way to go through life. And they started slow and got slower all night.
I saw this in the Jeff McDonald article in the Express News. How bad has it really been? The Spurs have faced a deficit of 17 points or more 7 times, including the past 4 games in a row. And it's slow starts. They've come back and won some of those. Last night they get beat 139-124. You score 124 points, you should win games. But they were in such a hole early, and their defense
got 70 in the first half.
Well, that's it. And then they end up with 139. They damn near had 70 in the second half. So I don't know if it's poor starts or it's bad defense. It's a combination of both.
There is. It's a combination of a couple of things, Jason. It's very apparent that the backup 5, whoever that is, and however we define what the big is, but whether it be Zach Collins or Charles Bassey or Mamu, it's not working. Last night, it's going so poorly that Mitch started Sohan at 5. The first time ever. The guy's just back from an injury, and he put him in at 5.
Yeah,
so there's obviously an issue there that is hurting them. So you don't have anything coming off the bench and no help. We had no defensive help either, because as soon as what's the point guard for Osu?
Yeah.
He made Chris Paul look 50 last night. He really showed Paul's age. And without Trey, there wasn't a lot of defensive help on the point. So it was going to be bad anyway. It was going to be hard. But the lack of execution and really just the lack of focus last night was just evident. They didn't have Wemby. They got behind, and there really wasn't a lot of effort other than from Keldon to get themselves back into it.
Well, and it's funny. You talk about the lack of focus. Devin Vassell kind of said, we didn't take this team seriously.
We came out flat, started off early from our shoot around, and we just got to be better. We're not a team that can just come into a game and be messing around and think that we're just going to win a game. So we got to respect all our opponents and play better.
Yeah. You don't want to be the my bad guy. You don't want to be the guy to admit what we all know. Yeah, you started flat. You've done that all season, and you did it again, and you're going to have to find a way to get yourself ready. And some of it is other teams are playing Wemby. They woke up that morning knowing I'm going against a 7'5" dude, the likes of which I don't see very often. So teams are ready to play us. but you're not ready to play Chicago. That's a team – winning teams wake up and are excited to play Chicago because they know if they do things right, they get the W. It's not about just laying down or taking them lightly and beating them.
Well, and you look at Mitch Johnson, got a T last night, his first. Well. He obviously was not happy. It was the first time since he's taken over for Pop that I felt like Mitch is above and water too deep for him, right? And I think it starts with the defense because kind of like Pop, he seems to be a very defensive-minded guy. And then to hear him talk about their piss-poor defensive effort last night was pretty let's rip the Band-Aid off kind of an answer.
A little bit of everything. Transition was bad. Had some situations even off makes where we didn't get back. They got buckets right after makes. Weren't connected. Didn't show shifts where we were supposed to. The amount of right-handed layups, kind of straight line drives was pretty alarming. Lack of communication on some screens. It was pick your poison. It was pretty poor tonight.
Yep. And they hamstrung themselves early by going small. When they decided not to start Zach or Bassie or whoever that were going to start at a big or 5 and went with Sohan, Vucevic's eyes got as big as saucers, and he went out and just lit them up because he was open or uncovered or undercovered by a guy smaller because of these switches all night long.
This year, we expected more. Now, with no Wemby last night, what do you expect? No word if he's going to play yet tonight. The last report from the Spurs, he was listed as doubtful. Maybe he's back Sunday against New Orleans, but they've got a little bit of a break coming up. So maybe you don't. But if they are chasing wins, then maybe we do see Wemby on Sunday.
I don't. If we don't see him tonight, I don't know why you play him on Sunday. If this is truly a lower back tightness issue, we can go with a win or two again. This is a best case scenario. This is a 500 basketball team. I mean, that's their ceiling this year. If they play as good as they can, I think they're a 500 team. But there's no aspirations above and beyond that. I'd almost rather Wemby not play because they're going to have to figure this backup rotation without him. They're going to have to find some kind of consistent rotation, whether it's a combination of Zach and Bassie or Zach and Malmu or Malmu and whatever that is until the trade deadline. If they're not going to do anything, they're going to have to figure that out because of all the issues on the team. That is the biggest one. And it was made even more apparent by Wemby's absence because Wemby is a great eraser. He erases a lot of defensive mistakes. Well, when those guys are out there, those mistakes became even more apparent. Life at the rim was easy last night, and we can't afford to let that happen. We don't shoot good enough to give up defensive rebounds. We can't let teams shoot twice, get an extra possession. We have to limit that because we don't make enough threes to keep up with those teams.
Now, you mentioned the win the other night might have been their best win. And they made 23 threes in that game and held on and beat Sacramento. And, maybe their best win, certainly one of the funner games.
It was
It was a fun basketball game to watch. If you're Sacramento, are you coming in tonight pissed off looking for a little revenge?
We beat twice. Keep in mind, they rolled in here like second game of the season, and we took care of them when they were a little banged up. Yes, this is a game that that they had circled for a little bit of revenge because we're not going to see them again. This is just about it for the Kings. It's a team that's prideful, that has playoff aspirations, and tonight, if there is no Wemby, the reason we have been so successful against Sacramento is he's just utterly dominated their front line, and Sabonis will be free to do whatever he wants tonight. This is not the best opportunity to play against a team that has a little bit of revenge in their heart against a team last night that just failed to show up defensively at all. And Sacramento is just as fast as Chicago was last night. They'll come and get you, and if you're worried about starting slow, this is not the team to start slow against.
So for those that are driving around right now, 10 to 6, listening to the Blitz, and if they haven't heard your thoughts on the Morning Huddle weekday 6 to 10, you and AJ Hoffman, your thoughts on how Mitch has done as interim head coach?
I think he's done extraordinarily well. Last night was the first time I really felt like from the opening starting lineup, I thought it was a tactical error, but every coach makes that. You think we're going to go small and hope we're going to move the ball and we'll hit some shots and run with them. And it didn't work out. And he never got his team out of that. There was a quick substitution. They got big as fast as he could, but by that time the toothpaste was out of the tube. It's a learning experience. They like him. This isn't March. This isn't playoff push time. This is everybody learning. I don't think that he has made a one error that you can point at and go, there's no future here. But you do get a sense of, do we have a guy that can coach us out of trouble? And we really haven't had to deal with a whole lot of that yet.
Well, and I up until that, and last night was the first time, like I said, I felt like, but that comment from Vassell that from shoot around, they weren't taking this seriously. I don't know if I put that on the players or a little bit on Mitch, a combination of both. I don't know that I ever heard that when Pop was around.
Yeah, and it falls on the coach. I mean, you're a professional, Devin. You better make yourself ready. But it does fall on the coach. And let's reflect on what we've just listened to today. Dan Campbell, now that very different scenario. They're hosting Green Bay, but this team, he told them all week, you're never going to forget this game. You're never going to forget it because we're going to do something extraordinary. The team was not, they were ready to go when that showed up. Now, granted, this is 1-82 last night, but it is incumbent upon the coach to give a reason other than being a pro to go win tonight. What's the reason? What do they do, or what are we going to do good enough to beat a team? That's hard to find 82 times a year. It was evident.
You know, every team has that. I mean, my God, look at some of the things going on with the Lakers. You look at, I mean, it happens. And it's December. It happens. And I get that. I just don't know if this Spurs team is good enough to have too many like that.
They're not.
And for a growing team, expectations are higher this year than they were last year. Not much higher, but they're high enough to where you get pissed off when you see piss poor performances like that.
So tonight, if you're grading at home, let's watch that first quarter. Let's see how they start this game. Are they in it? They don't have to be winning, but are they in striking distance against a team that really is coming in, who's playing pretty well? DeMar is getting 30 a night and playing as good as he has in a minute against a very fast backcourt. Can they stay in the second quarter so they don't have to fight so hard in the fourth to get a win? And
again, lessons learned. Don't eat while you're talking on the radio.
Never,
it tends to choke you up. There's some burnt beans and some brisket and some cold beer in our future. Rob, appreciate you hanging out with us here on the Blitz. It's been a while since
genuine pleasure.
Done a show in daylight that ends in darkness as opposed to starting the darkness and ends in daylight.
No matter what, I'm always doing a show in the dark for whatever reason.
That's how it's going to be. We're here at Tri-County Meat Market this weekend. You know that great meal starts with great meat. No better place. Pre-order your great meats for the holidays coming up. They've got those gift boxes in there with are great for clients. Stocking stuffers, just better than socks. Get a box of meat. That'd do it for us. Don't forget, all weekend college football, whether you're watching the championship games on television, maybe you're going down to Benson Stadium, and you should watch UIW and Villanova. They kick off at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The tailgating gets going very early with the Forever First Foundation. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun, man. Playoff football in San Antonio. Go enjoy some football weather and do some football things this weekend.
And if you're running the rock and roll this weekend, stay warm. We'll see you down there bright and early. Army and Tulane coming up next on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And every